It's clobbering time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
Clobberanimo!
Hey, and always
Clobberanimo!
that too. Welcome everyone, my good friends. Good to see you. Welcome, clobberers, clobberanimos, and clobber trekkers, and everybody.
Clobber-trekkers? That
Clobber
is a great
trekkers.
word. Clobber-trekkers!
Clobber trekkers indeederishness or whatever. Good to see you, my dear friends. Thank you. Welcome to Clobbering Times Saturday Night Star Trek 106 for that number, but of course 518 for Clobbering Times overall on YouTube. That is, and of course, 1,218 of Clobbering Times over the ages. Yes. Wow. Good to see you. Sorry, I was writing some names down, getting some stuff done. A little distracted there.
It's a list of the usual suspects.
Getting
The
all the names down.
die-hard Trekkies have arrived, boss.
Yep, they're here. And it's great to see you all, my good friends. So happy to see you all. What a great crowd we got already popping in early today. So welcome everyone to Clobbering Time, Saturday Night Star Trek. We're starting out season 5 of Deep Space Nine. And of course, also this month on Clobbering Time, it is Superman month. More on that in a minute. But first, I want to say a very special hello to the most wonderful first officer in the fleet, my beautiful, fantastic second in command, Commander R.M. Briggs. Hey there.
Hi, I love you. Thank you for having me. Hail to the whole chat. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We're going to have a great time tonight. Before we get started, may I please take this time to thank my Patreon
Please.
subscribers, the folks who are backing my new book. I want you to know that I wrote 5,000 words today. So February's story is right on track. So without further ado, let me get to it. I want to thank Tony Stark. Tony Stark, thank you so much for backing my book. I want to thank Larry, thank you so much for just being a marvelous human being. I don't know what we would do in this community without people like Larry, who goes out of his way to back indie talent, to back all of these shows, these special interest shows about science fiction. This is a very special and wonderful guy, and I just love him. So thank you, Larry. I also want to shout out Cardinal Sin, Cardi, Gil, thank you, Shooter, Chris Persia, Scuba Pete, Eric K, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C, and the marvelous Jilly Jill. Fellow INTJ, fellow nerd, thank you so much for backing my work. I love you all very much. Thank you so much.
Indeed, thank you all so much for backing our wonderful number one here. And let's see here. Let me do a few show notes, and we'll get on with our with our shout outs. What we got? Okay, well, of course, tomorrow night I will be over there. Our great friend Mark D with the C, our great chief engineer, is not with us tonight. He was out on an away mission.
He's basically gone to Risa, folks. He's on Risa.
Right, he's on to Risa, yeah. So he is won't be here tonight, but we will be on. We'll have his we'll be there for Sunday Night Geekery on his channel sometime late tomorrow night. But if the Super Bowl, which he and I both will be watching, probably in different locations, well, obviously different locations from each other, but I mean, away from home. Whenever we get home, we will, we'll get together for that. We're just not sure exactly what time that will be, but I'll be there for the big Super Bowl. Yes, big Sportsing. Sportsing. Sorry, but some of us do that sort of thing. Sorry. Anyway, but show notes are as is. I will have a on Monday night, Mark C Comics Talk. As you all know, as I said, this is Superman month. Monday night, we will have our big, once a month, I do a big double feature where I have two shows on a Monday on Mark C Comics Talk. And the first one is, of course, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time at a special time because I'm going to have a special guest, and he is special. My good friend J-Man and I take another trip to Earth B for a Wacky World of Bob Haney presentation for another biggest classic comics review special. Brave and the Bold number 150. The wackiness of Bob Haney has to be experienced to be believed, and we will be visiting that. And I cannot wait. J-Man, looking forward to it, brother. And then for the regular time at 9 p.m. Central Monday night, my great friend Carlos of Comics Mania, all the way from down in Mexico, will be joining me to review Superman Annual number 11, the Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons masterpiece, probably the greatest Superman story ever told, or one of them for sure, for the man who has everything. And so that's two comic book reviews in one night. And I'm looking forward to that, celebrating the granddaddy of all superheroes, my beloved Superman. So that is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. And I hope if you are comics fans at all, I hope you will join us.
Oh, we need to shout out J-Man.
I'm about to.
Okay.
I wanted to say a special before we do our shout outs. I want to say a special congratulations to the great J-Man, my Earth B partner in crime. His amazing channel. I want to thank you all who helped us with this. His extraordinary channel he's had for quite some time. Just this past weekend, I noticed it was at 989 or something. So we asked a bunch of you guys to help us push it over the top, and he got there. 100K.
J-Man.
Yes. We got to 100K. Excuse me. I mean 1,000, in other words. 1K, not 100K. Sorry, buddy. You'll get there too. You know what I mean. Anyway, so he got to 1,000 subs, and that is fantastic. So, congrats, my friend. And let's see there. Yes, but if anyone is here that still has not subscribed to his channel, please do that for me if you would. Please.
Do it.
Do it, please. So, shout out time, folks. What we like to do is we shout out our fantastic wrenches, those who are here with us every night that they can be. I mean, it's so great what they do for us. They pop in, not just one night. I mean, they're here all the time when they can be, of course, and they're just such great friends of the show. And I do appreciate them so much. And just wish I could do more than just shout them out, but we do enshrine them in the Clobbering Times Hall of Fame. At least
we do, and they deserve it because they're always out there promoting our work. They create show posters. They're posting our links everywhere. They're in chats talking about our channels, talking about our books, talking about our friendships. They're out getting links for us, helping the people in the chat, supporting us, even on Patreon. I mean, these are the unsung heroes of YouTube, and they are the glue that keeps our community together. And we have an assembly of some of the best wrenches on YouTube. And I just love them. I can't even believe these guys hang out here and do all this for us. I love them so much. Let's do this shout out.
Okay. Appreciate you guys so much. The great Eric A., the bronze wrencher. Of course, and of course, the Vindicated Wrench of the North, the great Chris Persia. Thank you so much, buddy. D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Hey, Bob. Good to see you, my friend.
Oh no, D-Bud, I love you. Stay put for a second. I love D-Bud, but guess who has a migraine? Oh my God. Chris Persia has a migraine, and that's not good. Okay, that's extremely painful. That's not a headache. That's a serious event. So, Chris, go lay down. We all love you very much. Everyone, can you send some good feelings to Chris Persia? Send a hug, maybe a little CP in the chat, please. I'm sending you a soft hug. Get a cold cloth for your head. We love you very much. Hope you're feeling better soon. Go lay down. Go lay down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Gotta find my CP there. Feel better soon, buddy. Really appreciate you.
And D-Bud. Love you, D-Bud.
Yes, indeed. Love you, D-Bud. He's not here tonight, I don't think, but he's a big friend of the show as well, and he's a great pal and a member of the crew. Yep. Lord Thoth, and of course, shout out to the wonderful Lady Thoth. Avon lives. Long live the Legion, God of Wrenches.
Lord and Lady.
The wrench without fear.
J-Man.
My partner on Earth B. Thank you, buddy. Good to see you. Hungry Boy, Master of the Clamoni, Master Artist of Clobbering Times, and the wonderful book, Science Fiction Tales by Art.
Gorgeous painting. Best painting ever.
Kal-El, buddy, the Super Wrench.
Real soup.
Wielder of Wrench Mjolnir. Maddie's Daddy.
Maddie's Daddy.
The Phantomy of Outsiderness, Fanty.
The Phantomy.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means, really, to be honest with you. I just threw it out there.
I love it.
Oh, man. And now for our shout outs, folks, because we do it. It's just what we do here. It's how we roll. And it's just kind of guys we are around here. All right, let's see. Make sure I got everybody. I hope I didn't miss anyone popping in. And we will make sure here. All right, okay. So, shout out time. Again, the great Mark D with the C, our engineer. We shout him out anyway, even though he's not going to be here tonight, because he's such an important part of the show and we miss him. So
yeah, we love Mark D with the C, but he's currently with Captain Nemo. And I heard little birdie told me he was on his way to Risa. So we'll see him soon.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. We'll have to push through without him. Won't be easy. Never is. So let's see. Shooter, what's up? Good to see you, Shooter.
Pew, 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 pew.
What she said? Pleasant Valley Picker. Hey.
VP.
Dave G. Sound.
Dave G. Sound. Dave G. Sound.
Let's see here. Michael Beacom.
And Cassandra Beacom.
And Cassandra.
Thank you for the
Good to see you,
beautiful
buddy.
book review on Amazon. I love you, Beacums. I love you, Cassandra. I love you, Michael. Thank you. You guys are such good friends.
Thank you so much. And hope things are going well for you there tonight. Great to see you. Sean Carter of Mars.
Sean Carter of Mars.
Yes, indeed, yesness. Seeing Thor and Superman in close succession. I could see Thor surprised as Kal-El. Well, there you go. Sure. I should see you. Stuart Mitchell.
Dahlia Braces.
JT Kirk.
JT Kirk.
That hurt. Let's get that Catman, aka Dee Dee Myers. Hey there, and hello to your wife.
Catman do.
The better half out there. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Max Redstone, master of the Limerick.
Maximum Limerick.
Maximum Limerick, dude. The aforementioned great Larry.
Larry.
Yes,
Woohoo!
indeed.
Love you, honey.
Claude Selling.
Claude Selling.
I'll take this time out to say thank you to all who are lurking. We really appreciate it. I don't say it enough. I forget sometimes because I'm an idiot, but I really appreciate you. And also to anyone listening later on a rerun or a rewatch, however they call it. I never really know what they call it around here. So, but thank you. It is truly appreciated. And I'll ask anyone who does listen one way or the other, if you wouldn't mind clicking the like button, only if you mean it, though. If you don't mean it, I understand. You can, if you want to put don't like, I respect it. But if you click like, I really appreciate that. Thank you. The lovely, wonderful Lisa is here.
Lisa, she was cooking up a storm tonight. She made like was it? I forget what noodle she used. She used like I think a rigatoni noodle to make lasagna, and it looked fab. Not to mention her banana cream pie. It was sexy. It was sexy.
Nice. All right, Lisa. You saw pictures or something, or?
I did. I follow Lisa on Twitter. We follow each other. She has good food.
Nice stuff. Well done, Lisa. Hope you're doing great tonight, my dear. Enigmatic Drop Bear. What's up, ED?
ED! Erudite Bear dropping the mic tonight for sure in the review department, always kickstarting the best conversations in the chat with the panel, just engaging with the material in a cerebral and sincere and beautiful way. It's going to be great to see ED rocking the chat.
Tyrell 72.
Tyrell, you know what that means? We got to tell Tyrell to work safely tonight. I know you're in the big warehouse and you're probably moving stuff around and moving and shaking. Just make sure you're safe, and I hope we put on a great show, fantastic show for you, keep you entertained at work, and we'll see you at the end of the show, sweetheart.
Indeed. Raymond Feliciano and Sandra Feliciano. Hello there, King
Dolphin TV.
In color. Let's see here. Classic Comics. What's up, CC?
CC.
Dadman Walking and the Dadman Clan. Really enjoyed hanging out. Enjoyed being on with you last night on your great channel. Please, everyone, subscribe to my buddy Dadman's channel. It was a lot of fun talking the Super Bowl with you and our buddy Ash and our good friend Culture Casino. I really enjoyed it, sir. Thank you so much.
That's the other CC. We have two CCs that I love.
True. The great Culture Casino. What a great fellow.
Mm-hmm.
Dad, man. So good to thank you, buddy. Snail Messiah. Hey there. Good to see you, Snail Messiah. Brian Hepburn. Hey. Wolfie's here. Mark Lerseth. Hey there.
Mark.
Hey, Herc 130.
Herc.
I don't think I have anyone else, but as always, I will record your entrance accordingly and get you shouted out accordingly. But we're now going to get down to beeswax here with our starting out with our reviews for starting out season 5 with 4 more episodes. So we'll explain a little bit about what we're doing and then turn it over to number 1. Basically, for over 2 years now, we have set out on the ongoing mission to review all 735 segments of the only Trek ever filmed and put on small or big screen.
Darn tootin'.
through 1966 through 2005. The only legit Trek that there is, that we acknowledge, of course, because we know, because we're gatekeepers and proud of it. And so we started out with the original series. Saturday Night Star Trek started from there and has continued on through the animated series, the original crew films, Star Trek The Next Generation, and we have now done 4 seasons of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and we are starting season 5 here tonight with 4 more episodes. And we have a bit of, we do have a reference material that is related to the show that I will now put up there called the Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion, and I will now turn over the con to my wonderful and lovely first officer, Commander Briggs. Go for it.
Well, thank you, Captain. Yeah, if you're joining us as though this is a radio station or a radio hour, there's a visual on in the chat and on the YouTube visual, and it is an image of the book Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion. It's written by Terry J. Erdman. He gets some help from his wife, Paula M. Block. Now, this is the text you should be looking to for information on Deep Space Nine, not only because it's original source material, but also because relying on user-generated content out on the internet is not a good idea, especially if you're an anti-filth person. So if you're a 735er, you're going to want to look for non-polluted information. And you don't want factoids and rumors and BS. You want the real deal. And the only way you're going to achieve that is through original source material. I'm from publishing. I'm an academic. I vetted this marvelous text. The only problem with this text is it's not good for podcasting. So previously we've used Paula M. Block's books. If you can pick up a Paula M. Block book that she's written about Star Trek, buy it. Don't delay. Don't think about it. Just buy it. She gets right to the point. Very succinct, beautiful summaries, inside scoops, information from production, directors, direct quote. She's marvelous. Okay. And she gets it all done in like 2 paragraphs. Her husband, however, Terry J. Erdman, gets it done in about 15 pages. Mark and I sort of estimated. If you put them all together. And that's not good for a podcast, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to read the summary of the plot from Wikipedia because it's a free user-generated source, so it's copyright compliant. And if it sucks and it's wrong, we'll correct it. And while we're talking about that, it's very important for you to realize this is an entirely organic show, which means Clobby and I do not discuss our ratings. We don't discuss the episodes. We don't do any pre-reading of the materials because we want this to be organic. We want it to feel like a bunch of Trekkies just came together to talk about Star Trek. And that's what we do. So we'll read a little bit. Clubby and I will talk about it, and then we'll do something very unusual. We throw it to the chat, and the chat gets right into the mix. We put their comments up in the marquee. We give everybody a chance to rate the episodes. It's great fun. So sit tight, stick around. We're going to have such a riotously good time tonight, celebrating and complaining about Star Trek.
The way fans should do it. Boost McFadden, good to see you, my friend. Hey there, hey there, hey there. So let us go get started with our first episode of the evening, which would be Apocalypse Rising.
It is. It's Apocalypse Rising, and it is season 5, episode 1. It is production code 499, and we all watched this for the very first time on September 30th, 1996. And as promised, here's that cold read, extemporaneous read from Wikipedia. Having learned from Security Chief Odo that a changeling has taken Gowron's form and is now in control of the Klingon Empire, Captain Benjamin Sisko is ordered by Starfleet Command to expose the imposter. He, Odo, Miles O'Brien, and Worf must infiltrate I don't know how to pronounce this, Tagokor, the headquarters of the Klingon military, disguised as Klingon candidates for the Order of the Batleth. They are given 4 devices, which, when activated, will emit radiation, which they will force any nearby changeling to revert to its gelatinous state. Gul Dukat escorts them to Tygokor in his captured Klingon bird of prey. The four arrive at the Hall of Warriors, where an all-night party before the induction ceremony has already begun, and try to blend in, sorry. When General Martok, second in command to Gowron, arrives, the four scramble to set up their radiation emitters. Gowron arrives and begins issuing the awards. When Sisko is called to receive his award, he attempts to activate the emitters, but he's knocked to the floor by Martok, who has finally recognized them and has them thrown in a security cell. Well, that's not really what happened. But anyway, he actually puts it back, the emitter back into his glove. He goes up to receive the award. The award is pinned on him, and that's when he's, knocked to the floor by Martok. But anyway, once they are alone, Martok confides to Sisko that he too believes that Gowron is an imposter. With the emitter destroyed, the only way to expose Gowron is to kill him. Martok releases Sisko and his group and leads them back to the Hall of Warriors. Worf challenges Gowron in a one-on-one duel. Martok wonders why Sisko does not shoot Gowron outright. Odo observes that Gowron chose to fight Worf in single combat, thus showing Klingon honor, while changelings do not care for honor. He concludes that the changeling is not Gowron, but Martok. When Worf is about to kill Gowron, Odo reveals the false Martok to the crowd, and the Klingons open fire, quickly destroying the changeling. Gowron realizes that Odo was fed false intelligence that Gowron was the changeling, which would have led to Gowron's assassination by the Federation, allowing the fake Martok, and therefore the Dominion, to gain full control of the Klingon Empire. Gowron agrees to a ceasefire in the war between the Klingons and the Federation, and Sisko and his men are returned safely back to DS9. And that is all the collective internet has to say about Apocalypse Rising. I'm going to turn it over to the captain now. Captain, my captain, Mon Capitaine. Please tell me, what did you think of Season 5, Episode 1, Apocalypse Rising?
I liked it very much. I thought this is again, we know this show is starting to get on its road towards its ultimate goal to deal with the Dominion War and all that other kind of stuff. We're leading up to that. I mean, that's not spoilery. We all know a lot of that's coming, and we all know the show is about more often than not, it's about space intrigue and drama and and stuff like that, and character stuff. And this has a lot of great character moments that I enjoy. So I do like this episode quite a bit. I really enjoy the stuff with it's kind of, again, nothing we haven't seen before. Well, I mean, in some ways, but in terms of them having to dress like to make themselves up to look like other species. Hey, Neon Knight.
Neon Knight.
Good to see you. So that's nothing we haven't seen before, but I think it's very, very well done here. There's a lot of great character drama and stuff, especially with Odo and Worf even. And just kind of, it's kind of irresistible seeing them infiltrating a bunch of Klingons. Because I'm confused. You promote the DS9 companion. You used to read companion, but you read from Wiki. Okay, you can address that if you want to.
Yeah, Larry says, I'm confused, Raquel. You promote the DS9 companion. You used to read from the companion, but you read from Wikipedia. Yeah, Larry, the bad thing is that, so I promote the companion because the companion has all the inside information people are looking for. So people used to come to the show and sometimes they would just barf out, cut, copy, and paste from IMDb and from Memory Alpha. And a lot of the stuff that's on IMDb and Memory Alpha is not correct. So if people have questions regarding DS9, it's better to go to original source material, vetted material that's published. And for that, the companion is divine. It's perfect. So if you're looking for production information, behind the scenes information, to get rid of rumors, to figure out how things are done or why they were done, the companion is definitely how you get that done. Unfortunately, what happened is the more we got into the Erdmann text, the worse it became. So he would take a full sheet of paper in like 9-point font to explain the synopsis of the episode. And then there were 2, 3, and 4 pages of production notes. And so that was messing up the podcast because it's reading for way too long. The shows were getting to be 4.5 hours and things like that. So with the Wikipedia, we get the summary and then everybody works together to pull stuff out of the companion and add it into the conversation. So we try to keep it as brief as possible. Does that make sense? Wikipedia gets to the point, but the companion is really where you should be getting your hard, cold facts from, not from IMDb, and definitely not from Memory Alpha, which has become the pet of the filth people now. The Dreckers are all over it.
Yes, indeed. And thank you, Neon Knight, for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. Didn't say anything in it, but he gave it. Appreciate that so much. Too kind, my friend. Thank you. So where's we? Yeah, I enjoy. Like I said, I enjoy the episode a lot for character moments, for intrigue. It's at least it's one. It's not a schizophrenic story where it's buzzing back and forth between a lot of different plots and stuff like that, which is always it's a shame that has to be refreshing for any show, but it is. So yeah, I thought this was a pretty good start to the season. Hey there, Nerod and Axe Amanda Bear.
Hey, you're right.
Yeah. So notes.
Yes, and Larry, my pleasure, sweetheart. And yes, Michael Beacom, it does go on and on and on, and there's really no point to it. I wish that Paula M. Block was the person who was the primary author here, because then, I mean, she gets right on it, and the companion is something you can get into bed with a glass of wine or a hot chocolate with and read it, but it's not good for podcasting. But it's great for information. Okay, so the boss has asked for notes. Guess what, folks?
John Rupas.
Hello, John.
Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, you are.
John Rupas, welcome. Good to see you. I haven't seen you here before.
So the boss has asked for my notes. Guess what, folks? I rewatched the 735, and I have watched the 735 rewatch starting on January 1st, ever since it was technically possible. So I've been watching Star Trek for a little over 45 years. So is the boss. So I thought, what can I add to this? And so I decided that in the absence of Paula M. Block and her lovely notes, I would do my own. So here are my notes that I take with a pencil and a piece of paper to sort of fill in some things for folks who are watching the episode, sort of like my review. This episode was nominated for Outstanding Makeup and Cinematography by the Emmys. This is a beautiful example of leadership. We see Sisko believing in Odo despite his sudden lack of sort of magical abilities. I think that this is an exemplification of that type of leadership. At 10 minutes, 25 seconds, O'Brien says that dead changelings revert to their gelatinous state. This is not true. We watched a changeling die, and they look like burning sugar. They dry up and turn to dust, and they evaporate, sort of leaving like a residue or like an ash type of thing, sort of like what happened at Pompeii, reducing people to look like stone and then ash. So that's what happens. Point. That's what happens with changelings. They don't return to a gelatinous state. That's not correct. So that's some sloppy writing here. And I guess I should say that this was written by Ira Stephen Bear and Robert Hewitt Wolf. The Dukat and Kira exchange in the passageway is cause for some serious chuckles. You know, who's your daddy? Pretty funny. Alexander Siddig and Nana Visitor have a very cute pregnancy conversation. Of course, everyone is winking at the television as this happens, because we know that Alexander Siddig, or that is the name that he's chosen now. Obviously, Alexander Siddig is North African, and he has close to, I believe, a dozen, maybe closer to 20 tribal names, but he's chosen to use Alexander Siddig for English. He is the actual cause of the pregnancy. So the fact that they're having this little chat about it, super funny and cute. Obviously, in real life, it's his child. And then we have some amazing Klingon cultural moments and some really cool conversations where Worf is trying to get them to behave as though they're more
That's a great scene.
Klingon.
That's a great
So
scene.
yeah.
I love
So
that.
I wouldn't consider this as science fiction per se, but I will say that this is a wonderful drama with the trappings of sci-fi, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Very entertaining. Great character stuff. And science fiction can sometimes be something that normal drama that takes place in a science fiction setting, therefore sometimes allowing you to tell certain types of stories that are more easily told in a science fiction setting, believe it or not. Or so they kind of can complement each other sometimes, and
Hmm.
yes, it does.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Sorry, continue.
That's okay, boss. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
Yeah, so that's it. This is a decent drama. It's a good little story. I enjoy it a lot. And good stuff.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. So, what is your rating for Apocalypse Rising?
Okay, so it's not science fiction. This is drama. And if you love Star Trek and you're looking for hard science fiction, it's only once in a while in DS9. You have to
True.
give yourself over willingly to the drama. And so, because of that, I'm not going to put it in the A category. However, I will say this for DS9, this is a good episode. And therefore, I granted a B, plus, possibly the highest rating I can give something that isn't in keeping with Gene Roddenberry's vision for Star Trek, but quality and fun nonetheless. So B plus, boss.
Yeah, I mean, look, stuff like the Enterprise incident only deals with a little bit. Like, for example, that episode is about the cloaking device and things like that. But it's a drama, it's character stuff, it's intrigue. So I wouldn't call that like a big time deep dive into science fiction either. But I would still call it a cool episode that has drama, has espionage, and has a lot of character stuff. So I don't mind. Star Trek doesn't have. Star Trek can be other things, so that never really bothers me too much. I'm going to go ahead and actually give it an A because I do find this is some quality. So Deep Space Nine, we know, like you just talked about, the animal that we know it is that it is a it's a story that a Star Trek slice of life story that takes place in a science fiction universe. It isn't always about science fiction concepts. We know that. We know the concepts are usually drama and
Yep.
adventure and war. And again, you know that, either like that or not. But like, I think both of you and I both prefer the original series and what Star Trek truly
Yep.
is supposed to
Agreed.
be. And even TNG, which is failed a lot of the time, at least was supposed to be more like original series than this. So
Mhm.
I prefer that in my Trek, but I don't mind, if a show's a show that's good, it's good. And this is a very good show, often at being the drama stuff, and sometimes it's not so
Yep.
good. But I
It's
think
true.
it's what this show is supposed to be. This is an episode that at this show at its finest, what it is intended to be. And this is one of the finer ones like that. So I'm going to say an A. And
Okay.
now what we do, folks, is I'm going to ask our fantastic audience, you guys, to let's try to keep this around the 5 range if we can, because I'm trying to keep these as close to 5 segments as we can, because we have so many people commenting now. If you can keep your reviews to 5, if you got to go one more than that, it's okay. But at least around the 6 range if possible. You can go ahead and do that. And while number 1 is starring those, I will get us some Max Redstone entertainment. Ready, number 1? Are you there?
Sure am, boss. Sorry, I just have
Okay.
it on mute because I'm
No, I
just
got you.
click, 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 click. You know
Click
what I mean?
away. Click away. Here we go. All right, everybody. So the great Max Redstone, as you may or may not know, our good friend in the chat, who is here with us tonight, often provides us with some lyrics about our nightly episodes or our weekly episodes, excuse me. And we've got some here for Apocalypse Rising. So without further ado, Apocalypse Rising by Max Redstone. And here we go. With the Klingons of honor amassed, well, let's see, excuse me, make sure I got this right. With the Klingons of honor amassed, the Fantastic Four must act and fast. Gowron plays the good bloke, but then gives Odo the choke. It's the changeling who ends up having a blast. Oh, that's top notch there. I like it. Well done, buddy. Good job. The great Max Redstone, everybody. Let's give him a round of applause, if you would. And now we will start reading our reviews. All right, everyone. The Catman, a.k.a. DD Maya, says, I, too, thought that this was a good episode. I enjoy this one very much. Thought they did a great job. They did great with the characters. I'd give this one a B. All right, Catman. Well, thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Kal-El says A-. This episode was filled with intrigue, as well as some humorous and suspenseful moments, and as such was thoroughly entertaining. However, the story was simply using the sci-fi setting as the backdrop to tell such a story, and could be applied to almost any other genre. I did enjoy, except again, making people look like a completely different alien race. That's what I say. It does have some science fiction to it, but anyway, that's very science fiction-y. But not first time it's been used either. I did enjoy this episode for the aforementioned reasons. Worf training his fellow officers on how to act. I also love the scene, by the way, where Cisco hears that Klingon bragging about killing that Benzonite captain who was a friend of Cisco's, and Cisco's kicks his ass for it. That was a great moment. I enjoyed that. Way to go, Cisco. Let's see here. Like Klingons was particularly hilarious, but its purpose was to further the overall Dominion War narrative rather than tell an engaging sci-fi story filled with the possibilities for our... Hang on. In the future. I think it says... own future, which is what Star Trek is generally known for. Yeah, but like I said, this is season 5. By now, we're used to this show doing that, aren't we? This episode, therefore, gets an A- instead of an A. Overall, though, it's a great episode when part of the larger narrative. Well, absolutely, thank you so much, Stephen. The great Kal-El, appreciate you, buddy. Oops, having some mouse technical here. Stupid mouse. Hate my mouse. Gotta get a new one. All right. JT Kirk says 6 glories to you and your house out of 10. Okay. Glory to you and your house. By the way, I know number one probably also gave it like a little bit of higher rating than normal because it had her favorite Robert O'Reilly in it. She loves him.
I love that Irishman. Love that Irishman.
See, for Apocalypse Now, non-Klingons would be picked up when beaming. Non-Klingons would be picked up into beaming into Tiger Core. Worf is the worst choice to go. That is kind of a good point about Worf being Worf was pivotal in Gowron's rise to Chancellor. If Gowron gives out the award, Worf would be immediately recognized. The writers must have had too much blood wine. I did kind of wonder about that. Like, why isn't Worf, unless they made Worf look like a completely different Klingon to them? I mean, I don't know. It's not a bad point.
It's a hole in the bottom of the sea. It's a hole. It's a hole. It's a hole in the bottom of the sea.
It's a fair cop. Shooter says A. Great way to start a new season. Cisco forcing Odo to go on the mission. Yeah, there's a lot of great Odo stuff in here too, I might add, with Cisco and Odo and stuff. Odo to go on the mission to show he is more than just a changeling. Addresses Odo dealing with his new condition. Hang on, Shooter. Oh, there we go. Good humor action with a twist. Some Klingon culture, Dukat being Dukat. What's not to love about this episode? Yeah, it's fun. The Dukat.
It's a pretty great comment. Dukat being Dukat.
Right.
Come on, Judah.
That was some funny stuff on the ship. Again, there was some of it sort of reminded you of unification with the Klingons, like the Klingons having Picard and Data dressed like Romulans. So yeah, similar to that stuff. Oh yeah, Kira and Bashir squabbling with flirtatious intent. I wasn't sure if they were going to start making out right then and there. Keep it off the set, people. Whoa. Well, at least, you're harsh there, Shooter. Kira telling to cut the baby as Chief O'Brien's without going into details was good for a laugh. Yeah, that was funny. That was a pretty funny scene. I like that.
You are the father. Isn't that American show with that Maury Povich guy?
Yes, that
pretty
was
funny.
what it was. The great Raymond Feliciano of King Dolphin TV says, hey, great acting, more Klingon lore, nice intrigue. What more can you ask for? I don't know. Probably not much more there, Raymond, so I'm with you, buddy. I hears you on FM, pal. Hungry Boy says, Gallstone Ron being a fake change-o meant plot foregone conclusions, la la. The script, meh, times 10, but rating 2 Hordas. Nope, didn't catch any of that.
I respect that review. I respect that rating, and I love you very much. HB.
I think he just wrote it to make me sound dumb when I read it. I think that I'm beginning to think these are conspiracies from Hungry Boy to make me sound even dumber than I already am by the way he writes these things. But you know what? If that is the case, I actually respect that. Love you, Hungry Boy. I love you, brother. Lisa, lovely Lisa says B. Since we have no taste, smell-o-vision, it was ingenious to use the effervescent sound and brilliant lighting to convey the delight of food, and in this case, drink, where Odo is finding solace. That was a good scene. Yes, I like the scene.
And I liked that he likes bubbles. I like bubbles too.
I like the bubbles was pretty good. There's Lisa's second one right here. Okay. Enjoyed Cisco, Odo, and O'Brien Klingon makeup. Good episode. Indeed,
nice, Lisa.
Yep, absolutely.
And I would just like to say, Lisa, I love you. I know that you were like, I'm not sure if I want to do this review thing. And can I just say, on behalf of the entire 735 Club, nailed it. You nailed it. We love you.
We love having you do that. Absolutely. Michael Bacon says, B+. A return to the flawed TNG formula of having our heroes become deep cover agents. The Federation doesn't have trained agents. And why exactly do the founders need someone to, well, like I said, again, remember Enterprise Incident did it first. They did it a couple times. Start the original series. They, you're right. I mean, you think there's a group like Section 31, but they don't control them. So usually they figure, look, our captain should be able to do anything that any James Bond can do, right? So the Federation doesn't have trained agents. Why exactly do the founders need someone to kill Gowron and to replace him? But still a pretty good episode. But per the book, page 363, they chickened out and changed it to Martok is the bad guy, so not to tick off the TNG fans. Yeah, well, yeah. Yep, that's true, huh?
Messing with O'Reilly. And I just want to say that Lisa is having fun and that she loves this format. I knew you would, beautiful lady. At the beginning of this, Clobby and I were adamant that we wanted to make this two-way conversation and get the fans involved and have a really good time. And so I'm so happy that you're enjoying the format. I love hearing what you think. I think what you think is important. It's fun hearing what everyone thinks. It's great. It's almost as if we're all in the same room talking, and we're not on the internet. We're just shooting the breeze about Star Trek. So I'm glad you're having fun, and we love you, Cheeky Poo.
Michael, this one here that I just read about what you said just now is 2 of 3, but this next one is also 2 of 3. So I'm confused. Is that supposed to be 3? I'll read it nonetheless. Straczynski and Babylon 5 wouldn't have batted an eye if the logical conclusion was to kill a character. He'd take out anyone if it was right for the story, which added real jeopardy. That is true.
It does make you scared when you're watching Babylon 5. You don't know what's going to happen.
It does make you scared, yeah. Now, I don't know if he meant that to be 3 or not. Maybe he meant that to be 3. They're out on Amanda Bear says, I hesitantly give this episode an A. Hesitantly.
Poor Nero.
A hesitant A. A hesitant A is sort of like an A-, isn't it?
Yes.
Dave G. Sound says.
Dave G. Sound.
B+. Overall, and I loved O'Brien as a Klingon. Cisco, Klingons speak to each other proudly. O'Brien, sorry. Yeah, that was great. That was a lot of great stuff. A lot of great character stuff in this episode.
Yeah, really great moments.
Oh, Kalel had a fourth one? Oh. No, I already got that one, didn't I? Own Future, which is Star Trek, is generally known for this episode. Different. Oh, okay, I got that one. Yes, sorry about that. Kalel. Pleasant Valley Picker says, A solid season opener idea for Gowron being a changeling is intriguing. This depressed Odo enjoying the bubbles in his beer was funny. His enjoyment of drinking and eating was enjoyable to hear.
I like that he called it disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, you're eating, you're drinking, you're masticating, you're digesting, and then you're excreting. And it's just so funny because that is a very science fiction idea of directly addressing what it means to be a human being and to eat. So I love that PvP.
So there are some science fiction elements in this episode for sure. Again, so Poron emitters, Miles. I hate prototypes. Was hilarious. Kira to Dukat. Miles is the father. Yeah, we all saw the episode. Dukat's shocked expression was great. Seeing Cisco, Odo, and Miles as Klingons more great fun. Yes, I'm with you there.
And
sure.
Bossman, Michael Beacom just wanted you to know that he's got the grandbaby over, and so his numbering was messed up. He apologizes, but
no problem.
He's had a long day with the grandbaby, and that's okay. Beacums, we just love you, and we're just so happy that you're staying up late and hanging out with us, even after having the baby over. And kiss the baby for us, please.
No problem.
And Anti-derivative Jill just walked through the door.
Jill, hey Jill. Good
Sweet lady.
you.
I shouted you out earlier. I'm going to star her, boss, so she's in the starred column. She left you a gift.
Oh, my goodness. We're right there. Jillian, finish this one up from Pleasant. Dukat destroying the Klingon ship was brutal. A do-or-die mission, so Dukat bails on our team by leaving. Martok being the shapeshifter was a nice twist. Overall, a very enjoyable episode. Agreed, Pleasant. I'm right there with you, bud. Jill, you shouldn't have. Thank you so much, my dear.
Yeah.
Appreciate you for the $5 super chat. Says, I'm on shore leave with family, but wanted to drop off some love. Have fun, 735ers. Well, you have a great shore leave there too, Jill.
Yes.
Whatever you all are doing, I hope you're having a wonderful time.
And we appreciate you so much. And thank you. I shouted you out earlier. Thank you so much for joining my Patreon. You're a sweetheart of a lady, and I really appreciate your support.
Thank you, Jill. Absolutely. Thank you, Jill. Larry says, here's my 5 paragraphs C rating. Gotcha. Thank you, buddy.
I don't think Larry likes the Klingon episodes.
I don't think he likes it much.
No, well, I just think that's just his taste. I don't think he's a big Klingon guy.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Okay, well, cool. There you go. I got you. Boost McFadden says A plus. Excuse me. I love a Klingon heavy episode. Gowron is a boss. Enough said. Kaplach. Indeed, sir. Indeedishness. Wolfie says rating A minus. New model alert. Tigator orbital facility. There you go. Wow. This is a wonderful physical model of the first Klingon space station we have ever seen in Trek. Did they ever sell that one, Wolfie? Let us know. I bet you'd buy it if they did. Outstanding dialogue. I love all the back and forth with Damar, Dukat, and our crew on the way to Klingon space. Yeah, that's another thing I like about this episode so much was really the dialogues in the acting.
Especially when Damar was like, what did Damar say, Wolfie? He was like, and you're gonna die.
You're all gonna be dead anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So about coming back for what for? You're all gonna be dead anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That was I think that was the beginning of Damar's characterization, because the first one he was finally appeared, he really didn't say much.
Yeah, they start building Damar up after this, and he's most enjoyable, but we'll talk about that later.
Indeed. Nice bait and switch with the general actually being the changeling. I thought it worked well. Agreed, Wolfie. Let's see. Hey, I didn't know you were here, Elora Carolson.
Aloric.
Oh my goodness. Good to see you, Elora. Let's see. All right, let's see. A solid A. A solid A. Oh, sorry. A solid A plus. Sorry. I like any episode with Klingons. I like the subterfuge and plot twist and how they got there with a demonstration of Klingon honor. Well, Alaric, I'm with you, and I thank you so much for that.
I hear you, Larry. I like the OG Klingons as well.
Love it. Boost McFadden says, Romulan Kirk was the first time they used it, right? An Enterprise incident, as far as them like disguising themselves as something like that as an alien type, I think so. I'm gonna go on a limb and say yes, but some, I mean they've gone undercover before that, like in Patterns of Force in a sense, and and other times like in Return of the Archons, but to go undercover for like an actual military mission, it might be Enterprise incident.
Yeah, I think it is Enterprise incident. It's the first time that we see like a physical alteration, I think, instead of just a costume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bush is right on that one.
And it's one of the greatest of the third season.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. So here we go. The great Dad Man Walking says A+, probably because I'm the action type. Space shooting blows up Klingon ship. Space shooting blows up Klingon ship. Then laser shots plus the drama elements that I gravitate to. Besides, best of the DS9 episodes and better than any TNG I saw. Thank you, Dad Man, buddy. Appreciate you.
JT Kirk and Larry are quoting Kirk. I love it.
Greatness.
I love you guys. I love you guys.
The great enigmatic Dropper says C+. This was not a strong start to the season and was a barely adequate resolution to Broken Link. Wow, gotcha. Martok revealing Sisko's identity when Sisko was just about to reveal Gowron was not a changeling. It's quite the plot hole.
It is. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the plot.
Had he let that play out, Martok's identity would have remained secret.
Yep.
Let's see. Odo is clearly and understandably suffering from bouts of depression. It is interesting contrasting Sisko's tough love and utilitarian treatment of him with our current treatment regimens. Sorry.
You mean coddling?
You mean coddling? I think he means coddling. I don't know.
I love enigmatic Dropper's sarcasm. It's
I'm not going to speak for ED, but I think you might mean coddling. Ducat's interesting journey from antagonist to protagonist continues. The one-time captor, then adversary, then interlocutor.
Mm-hmm.
Interlocutor. Sorry, I'm not going fast enough. Then Confederate is now a somewhat unreliable accomplice. Sorry. Kudos for the makeup and costume work. Sisko and Odo and O'Brien looked great. So, ED, not fond of this one. Gotcha. Thank you, ED.
It's Courtney Fellowship of Oddballs. She says, hey, everyone.
Hey. What's up, Courtney?
Everybody give Courtney a warm welcome, please. And Boosh, yes, I broke myself. I am broken. I'm a broken woman.
What happened?
Oh, the hole in the bottom of the plot. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of the plot.
Oh, crap.
What?
I thought, let's see, it says Arm Briggs, Raquel, just replaced my 2. Oh, I didn't get I saw.
Oh, you didn't get that one yet?
No. When his replacement number 2, I just unstarted by accident because I thought I already had a number 2 of his. I didn't read the one below it that says, "Aaron Briggs, sorry, Raquel, just replaced my my number 2 of 5. Stupid grammar error in the first one I posted. So if we can get that one back,
I will go look for it." And Abigor is here. Abigor says, "Greetings, mortals."
This one here is 948, so it's before that. Abigor, hello there.
948. I'm going up to 48.
Sorry about that, ED. I thought it was just
Your agonizer, please.
Some kind of mistake or something that was on there. Let's see here. Phantom Outsider says, B. Odo learned you cannot trust a changeling. Those lying puddles of goo. Hopefully, we will see the real Martok again, a character that would deserve to lead the Klingons. Hopefully, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Okay, so there are both of the 2 of 5s. Okay.
Okay, so what am I doing?
You
Mark,
are the one that says, let me go see.
which one are we using?
It's just a grammar error.
This is the later one, so it must be the one to use. Martok revealing Cisco's identity when Cisco was just about to reveal Gowron was not a changeling. Oh, excuse me. It was revealed that Gowron was not a changeling. I'm sorry, ED. I'm having that kind of a night. It's quite the plot hole. He had let that play out. His identity had let that play out. His identity would have remained a secret.
That's right. So, like, he blew it for himself. There's a hole. There's a hole. There's a hole in the bottom of this plot.
Okay, so I'm not sure which one to use. I'll have to think about that because I'm not exactly sure what he's saying.
It's okay. It's just a grammar thing.
Neon Knight says kaplach. I give it a B+. And we have one more review, then we'll go into the next episode. Classic Comics says grade B+. Solid plot, good suspense, and the twist with Martok was well done.
Hey, guess what?
The only complaint I have is that the changeling foolishly reveals himself in front of a room full of Klingons instead of just telling them to shoot Cisco and the others. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's the same thing that ED doesn't like. A person named Megafax just walks through the door and gave you a present.
Mega Reacts, hello there. Good to see you, and I thank you so much for that super chat. You are too kind.
Holy cramoly! Larry just gifted 10 memberships. Eric K is saying that Larry gifted 10 memberships. Larry, Eric K.
Wow. Larry, thank you so much, buddy. You were too kind, my friend. I appreciate you for that.
Larry.
Please don't worry about it. It was just a silly grammar error I was trying to correct before. Hey, look, I know that's a stickler for you there, because you don't like having those errors, and you probably don't make very many of those like I do every 5 seconds there, ED. So I do understand, because we appreciate you. So I've got your back there, buddy, and I thank you for it. Look who's here.
A Polymies minion and the pepperoni.
Bap, 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 bap.
Come on.
Okay, all right.
Give it more.
Okay.
Give it your all.
Okay, do another one.
The pepperoni.
Bark, 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 bark.
Okay, that's much better. That's much better.
Terrible,
Pat S is here.
Pat S.
According to the Catman, but I can't see Pat S.
Is Pat S here?
I do not see him, but I trust the Catman, aka D.D. Myers. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, all right. Well, cool. Yeah. Good to see you there, Polemy. And I hope you and the pup are doing well. And drive safely out there, my dear. And Pat S, if you're here, bro, shout out to you. Good to see you. Man.
And Larry bought all those memberships, so scoop them up now.
Thank you, Larry.
Scoop them up.
Anyone who would like to avail themselves of a membership, please do so. I mean, you're no under obligation, of course, but if you would like to, please feel free. And now let's move on to our next episode. How about that?
Yeah, and if you don't know how to do that, just ask one of the wrenches. They'll help you.
Yeah, because I sure don't know how.
Yeah, you just go up to the top and you just accept gifts. And then you click it, and then you can refresh just to make sure that you've received it. But the fine folks who are far better at wrenching than I could ever be are here to lend a hand. They're geniuses.
Yeah, leader. So, all right, everybody. So, our next episode is The Ship.
The Ship, not to be mistaken with the SHIT.
No.
Or season 5, episode 2, prod code 500. We all watched this for the very first time on October 7th, 1996. And now I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia, the half-baked user-generated encyclopedia. Let's do it. An away team of Deep Space Nine crew, led by Captain Benjamin Sisko, are conducting... No, that's subject verb disagreement. An away team is conducting mind your grammar, folks, is conducting a mineral survey on an uninhabited Gamma Quadrant planet while their runabout awaits them in orbit. A Dominion warship crashes near their location. Investigating, they find the crew dead. Cisco contacts DS9 to have the USS Defiant come tow the ship back to the station so it can be studied. Another Dominion ship arrives, destroying the runabout and its crew, and transports a number of Jemadar soldiers to the surface along with their Vorta supervisor, Kilana. The soldiers fire on the away team, killing and wounding Muniz, an assistant to Chief Engineer O'Brien. Cisco's crew flees into the crashed ship for protection. Muniz begins slowly bleeding to death as a result of his injury. Kilana meets with Cisco, offering to return the away team safely to DS9. They yield the ship. If they yield the ship, sorry. Meanwhile, a Jemadar transports onto the crash ship and attacks the team. Muniz, though weakened, is able to shoot the Jemadar. Kilana and Cisco immediately return to their ships. Cisco deduces that there is something valuable aboard that they are unwilling to risk damaging in direct attack. He rejects a new offer from Kilana to allow Cisco to keep the ship if he permits the Jemadar to retrieve an item from it. Wow, this is written really poorly. O'Brien tries to assure a now delirious Muniz that he will live, but Lieutenant Commander Worf asserts that Muniz should be prepared for death. Tempers flare, and a fight almost breaks out. Cisco sternly orders the crew to pull themselves together. O'Brien's attempts to bring the ship's engines online fails, and Muniz dies. The ship's precious cargo finally reveals itself, a dying changeling, one of the founders of the Dominion, whom the Jemadar and Vorta revere as gods. After it dies, Kilana transports to the vessel. She explains that her Jemadar have committed suicide for allowing the death of the founder, and there is no further reason to prevent Starfleet from salvaging the ship. Cisco allows her to collect some of the changeling's remains before she leaves. The Defiant eventually arrives and tows the ship back to DS9. O'Brien and Worf hold a vigil over Muniz's casket. Cisco tries to it's not a casket. Anyway, Cisco tries to write a report for Starfleet, but keeps lingering on the 5 crewmen who died on the mission. Despite knowing the ship's recovery could save thousands of lives, Cisco still feels they deserved more than to die on an isolated planet so far from home. So this summary written on Wikipedia is written almost as poorly as the episode itself. I'm going to turn it over to the boss now. Captain, my captain, mon capitaine. Please tell me, what did you think of the ship? The ship.
Not a whole hell of a lot, I must confess. I mean, there was some, I guess there's some okay character interaction in it, but I found it to mostly to be rather tedious, if I'm being honest. Not one of my, certainly not something. I mean, again, there are way worse ones, at least in my opinion. There are way worse ones, but I didn't think a whole hell of a lot of it. But it just was kind of a. I hate when we use this word sometimes. I know you got a lot of space to fill up, and this just felt like a filler episode that didn't really do much. It's still just 2 in a row now that they're starting this. They're in this breakneck race to set up their Dominion War stuff, and yeah, again, there was some good drama moments in it, but I didn't really care for it, to be honest. I don't have a strong opinion of it either. Didn't really just do much for me one way or the other.
Yeah, I think it sucked.
Wow, well, go for it with the notes.
These are my notes.
Don't let me stop you.
The benzite in the opening scenes has no breathing apparatus. Why go through all of the trouble of doing the benzite if you're not going to do the breathing apparatus?
Hey, Cardi.
Cardi,
what's up? Thank you for that $9.99 super sticker, Cardinal Sin. Good to see you, my friend.
I called you out earlier, Cardinal Sin. Gil, everyone make sure you follow Gil. Perfectly fitted uniforms could be replicated. There is no need for Garrick. If you're really thinking about how all of this works, you're thinking that Garrick would be the guy who would have handmade premier items for people looking for handmade things. But certainly if you were in Starfleet, you would be replicating your uniforms. as per TNG.
Right.
O'Brien is such a good leader. Here we really see O'Brien emerge as a very tender, thoughtful, great leader who really thinks about the people who he works with. Why wouldn't Cisco pick up the med kit? So this is the thing that I hate. He was out of the ship twice, and so was Worf. They were out for an extended period of time, and even walk up the very same deck where the med kit falls. So the med kit is on the deck. They have to walk up to go into the ship again. He's out of the ship twice and doesn't retrieve the med kit. And so this means weak writing, and we needlessly kill Muniz. We don't need to do that. And so it's disappointing writing. I mean, Star Trek fans can go through the motions of the mental gymnastics to come up with 10 million excuses as to why this doesn't happen. But they really should have just picked up the med kit and used the med kit and then said that the Jemadar had a poison or a filth, like, that people in war have done that before, used excrement or used a poisonous insects and things like that on weapons to kill people. And if we would have had the med kit but we couldn't deal with this poison, and that Dr. Bashir was the only one who could do the poison, then you've got me on board. But the fact that they walked by the med kit twice and no one retrieved it and allowed Muniz to die of just a belly wound is stupid.
I have almost a bigger plot hole for me for the episode that would scrap the whole story almost, really, to be honest with you. So, and that is this: if it's the Vorta really wanted to negotiate, and she seemed, because remember, by the time in the episode, she really just wants the founder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you destroy the runabout? Why would you say, look, we just, in good faith, Commander, let's make a deal. We didn't destroy your ship. You come down there and say, all we want is one thing off of that ship. But she destroyed the runabout, and then wants to come down and say, but we're okay. We're not hostile. So you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, that of course, that scraps your whole episode. I realize that, but doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the part of the Vorta.
It doesn't, and this is what I mean by this really crappy writing. So here we have the story, a short story written by Pam Wigington and Rick Kaysen, but we have the teleplay by Hans Bremer. Or Braymeyer. And yeah, I totally agree. I also found that to be weird because you just say, look, we'll allow you safe passage to your runabout. My Jemadar, soldier told me that you have a wounded man in there, or I know you have a wounded man in there.
We'll help him. Yeah.
It will help him. And yeah, you think about that for the whole episode. I was thinking the same thing. So I totally agree. I don't like the fact that we bring up a Klingon self-deletion again. Now, look, I realize I'm saying self-deletion and it sounds like I'm a little kid.
Right.
2 or 3 years ago, maybe even closer to 4 years ago, I started out on YouTube as a pure academic, trying to speak the way that I would speak when I was in front of a classroom of adults, teaching them about communications or social science or linguistics. And that doesn't work on YouTube, okay? They have algorithms. They're not operated by people, and it will mess up our entire show. So I have to use this jargon. I've learned to use this jargon, and I'm not doing it because I enjoy being juvenile. It's that you can be all uppity and you can be an academic all you want, but if they start shadow banning your show because of the things you say, you have to learn to adapt. So I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to do it in a way in which we can bypass the ridiculousness of this when adults can't even discuss things properly. We bring up the Klingon self-deletion again, and I don't like it because once again, it's a very weighty issue. And if you're going to get into something like that, you can't approach it like a coward. You have to explore it, and you have to do it in a way in which you're involving the Socratic dialectic. You're going to have to entertain all of the sides. You're going to have to question what is right for who, and what different beliefs are in play. So I don't like that gets brought up. O'Brien and Worf start a fisticuffs over, and hopefully I can say this, euthanasia.
Right.
And that's basically what we're talking about here. And it's dumb and wrong that they talk about it this way. And then I wrote underneath it in yelling all caps, who wrote this crap? And obviously I've already identified who wrote this crap. This episode is filled with absolutely atrocious dialogue about trusting each other, and it is absolutely insane. Why does Benjamin Sisko have this ridiculous conversation with Kilana about how none of this would happen if they just trusted one another? They're at war, for crying out loud. Only an 8-year-old kid would talk like this. The wrap up of a conversation is even worse. It's melodramatic and it's cheap, especially because we're involving these weighty conversations about self-deletion. And I would just like to say, first and foremost, something that really irritates me about this episode is that Klingons don't guard bodies from predators. This is complete and utter shite.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
They do not do that. What they do is they do a Klingon death yell to open up, to let people know in Stovelcore that
Right.
a hero is about to come
Klingon
upon
warrior.
they specifically state in TNG, and it is canon, that the body is considered nothing but an empty shell, and they're not even concerned with what you do with it. So in other words, Klingon burial rituals do not call for any type of cremation. They don't call for some sort of, Viking float where you burn the body over water. They don't talk about burial, nothing. And that's because when a Klingon warrior falls on the battlefield, you go over, you cry unto Stovelcore to have the soul welcomed, and then you abandon the shell, for nothing else remains. And this is the true value Klingons have for the dead body. They do not stand on ceremony, and they do not value the corpse. So because of that, I'm not really giving this a good review. I think it's crap.
Sorry, I was sneaking a chip.
That's okay.
Exactly. Amazing how this has not been that long since that first season episode of TNG, where it was established, and it was before they come up with Stovelcore, but they said it is a warning to the afterlife, that the Klingon warriors now coming, being on the way. And like you said, they said it's an empty shell now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, all shows contradict each other themselves sometimes, but good God, is it really that tough?
Well, this is the thing that I tried to explain to people on social media, but it doesn't really help in social media. It only helps in the classroom or in a podcast where I can be with someone like you, because then it can be discussed intellectually. So rather than doing all these acrobatics and these mental and emotional gymnastics to make up excuses for the show, you can just call it what it is. It's just bad writing. And I appreciate that Star Trek fans are constantly trying to fill in the gaps to make it all make sense. And it shows that these people are really enamored with the short story, and they're really good at filling in the gaps of short story. These are true blue science fiction fans. But let's face it, this isn't an author all on their own, all by themselves, writing a very complicated, epic story. This is a writer's room filled with people who are helping one another write. And then you have Ronald D. Moore there, who is supposed to be supervising all of this, catching all of this stuff, making sure that there aren't continuity errors, filling in the gaps, offering a sentence here or there to make it all make sense. This is a team. I don't have a team of writers behind me. And I have to, when I write something, I have to make sure that there's some continuity there. And when I try to make a filament between stories, I have to be careful. You want to know why I do that, Clobby? Because I love my reader. I am in love with my readers. I want to show them a good time. And if I do something that pulls them out of the story, I blame myself, not my reader. And so here we need to blame the writer, not the Star Trek fans,
right?
And not even the show. The writers. The
right
writers
poop
the bed.
Writing by committee. Retro Blasting, what's up, buddy? He says the Klingon gel Stovelcore traditionally treat themselves to Stova score candy bar. Exactly. Good to see you, bro. I hate to invoke a sports ball reference, but there's an old saying about quarterbacks. A team that has two quarterbacks has no quarterbacks. There's only one guy. And I think a story that has two writers or plus or more has no writers. I mean, usually a story should come up. Now, again, I know TV and movie writing is, this is all this committee crap because, you know, but as the once brilliant, now insane Alan Moore once said, the greatest comic writer ever said, he says, I don't understand why a story is better because it's going through 6 or 7 people. Why does it get better? Why is it any better when it goes through 6, 7 different people? Why? When
It's
it comes out
not.
of one person. So yeah, writing by committee. And yeah. Anyway, no, I'm here, yeah, and it's
Especially when you're drama people. If you were science fiction people and you have a nice little writers team there and you're polishing one another's boots to make sure that you don't make any mistakes like our Holy Trinity did, they took beautiful short stories, turned them into teleplays, and kept one another's boots clean. That's different. But these people are drama people. They're not even science fiction authors. They should be keen to this kind of thing where they're trying to hold together the characterizations because there isn't so much science here. This is drama. And so I know they all probably had dreams of being on CSI Miami or whatever those shows are. I don't watch TV, but
yeah.
You know what I'm saying, right? Like
Right.
these people should have a command of the interpersonal relationships if they're not going to have command of the science. So 10 times more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, yes, but just just to reference back what you were talking about, how they screwed up the with the Klingon thing. There used to be an Star Trek archivist at Paramount who actually kind of policed continuity a little bit. They actually had one, folks. I don't know if you all remember. A couple different guys that worked for Roddenberry, worked for other people. I guess they'd already gotten rid of him by this time. Eddie Arnold and a couple different other dudes over the years back then. That, so in other words, there was someone actually keeping track of continuity.
Yeah.
To the point where these guys, though, like, they don't even care. And of course, Michael Dorn obviously didn't remember it and what in that episode. So I don't know.
Well, after his latest comments on the Shuttle Pod show, I'm not quite sure what to think of Michael Dorn these days.
Well, yeah, I hear you there. Victor Fontaine. Hey there.
Hey, Victor. Hey, Vic.
What's up? Good to see you, sir. I hope you were doing well. All right, let's see here. So, what is your rating of the ship?
The ship. I would definitely rate a D-, and I would respectfully request the level 1 Club-Oni cleanup of this stream.
You requested. You got it. This is the full one here. This is the Megaton. This is.
Thank you, Captain.
Club-Oni time.
If you perceive Alamarine, you come
There you go.
Thanks, boss.
Oh my goodness! I give it a
fresh as a daisy.
There you go. I give it a C- because I reserve my lower ones for things that really piss me off. This doesn't piss me off. I just didn't think it was particularly that good. I thought it was I gotta be angry to get lower than that.
Boss, look at D-Bud.
Oh, sorry, D-Bud. Sometimes we got to do what we got to do, sir.
God, I love him.
Sorry, buddy.
Our resident math teacher, or is he a mathematician? I always mix it up. But I love D-Bud Martin. I'm so sorry.
Oh, of course we do.
We shot the monkey.
Yes, sir. Yes, whatever that means. All right, well, so my good friends, now I will ask you, our wonderful friends in the chat, to give us your ratings of the ship. Any words you may have on it, keep it at the 5. If you can max out at 5 comments. But if you're, if you got to go to the 6, that's the extreme. But we can, if you have to, that we'll respect that. Number 1, we'll store your comments, and I will bring us some Max Redstone entertainment.
Oh, just wait. I just have to do one correction before I go to mute. It is mathematician. Sorry about that, D-Bud. Thank you, sweetheart.
Let's see here. All right, everyone. The Ship by the great Max Redstone. An away mission loses its gloss when the Jemadar bring the mean sauce. But with Dominion HR, you can't go very far. When it kills you to not save the boss. Wow. Nice. Good job. Good job. Maximum Redstone, sir. All right, buddy. All right, here. Let's see what we got so far. Up and you. Oh, the Catman, aka DD Myers, says, thought this episode was very boring. Wasn't one of my favorites, and thought it was a total I think even waste of time. Waste of time. I give this one a D. I understand, my friend. Got you covered. JT Kirk says 6 out of 10. The cliched story of the scorpion and the fox crossing a river is cringeworthy. Why not kill the feds after the changeling dies? There's every reason to keep their technology out of the enemy hands. Yeah, I don't know. Good point, JT. That's a good question.
May I please interject, and then I'll go right back to mute. But I do have to say, boss, that Midnight's Oblivion is here. Good evening, Midnight's Oblivion. Nice to see you, my friend.
Hey, Midnight's Oblivion.
And he's saying, "Hail, guys. Which episode are we on? We're on season 5, episode 2, my friend."
Yep, that's the ship. Or some pronounce it differently, though.
That's right. The boss is correct. Hit the hard P. Hit the hard P.
The Classic Comics CC says, grade C+. One of a number of War is Hell type episodes that DS9 had. I personally like this type of episode when done well, but this one is just mediocre to me, not particularly good or bad. And I'm kind of there with you, Classic. It's, yeah, I kind of see what you're saying, buddy. Let's see here. Kal-El says, A. This episode told an excellent story that had all of the elements that keep the audience engaged. But just as importantly, it showed the humanity of the Starfleet officers on the planet. Let's see here.
And boss,
yes.
Before you read 2 out of 5, please stay exactly where you are. Don't take it off the marquee. But Eric K would like you to go and look at your DMs when you've completed Kal-El, please.
Twitter DMs?
Yes, please. And that is from the great Bronze Wrencher Eric K. Please.
Okay, I will. Let's see. He says that Larry is 20 total membership gifting now. Thank you, Larry.
What? Larry, wow. I love you so much. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Larry. You're too kind to do that, my friend.
I don't know how the indie community would survive if we didn't have people like Larry and Chris Persia and Eric.
Thank you, Larry.
And Cardinal Sin and all these people. I don't know. Larry, you are an outstanding gentleman. I love you very much. Okay, I'm going back on mute, everyone.
Okay, and Dad Man says is going to be lurking, but good. Thank you, buddy, for being here tonight, bro. Appreciate you. All right, let's see here. While facing a difficult situation, sorry I continued that from the last one, but I'm sure you all remember. Each tried to deal with the scenario as best they could, but the flaws of each character came through. Worf and O'Brien bickering as well as Dax's attempts. Hang on, I got to find your next one, buddy. To lighten the situation with humor are just 2 examples. However, the weight of command and the toll it takes on Zisco and even the female Vorta is quite evident by the episode's end. Let's see. Each regrets their inability to trust the other, resulting in an unnecessary loss of life. Although Dax tries to comfort Zisco at the end, that the success of the mission will have saved thousands of lives, it is still of little comfort given the way events unfolded. A wonderful episode with a poignant and impactful ending. Thank you, Kal-El.
Dadman Walking, I just want to say I am so happy that you are still reading the book and that you're enjoying it. My love to your whole wonderful and beautiful family. Good night, Dadman Clan. And they have gone into lurk mode, and I just wanted to make sure that I said good night,
buddy.
to the wonderful family.
Yes, indeed. Good night, Dad Man Clan. Appreciate you, buddies. A for Shooter. Shooter gives us an A also. He says, I love this episode. The premise is good. The danger and tension real with Cisco refusing to let the sacrifices be for nothing by holding the ship at all costs. Let's see here. The finale focusing on those who had died is the finale focusing on those who had died. Sorry about that. Is something often overlooked by other episode shows. That's a good point there, Shooter. It was good to see this acknowledgement for minor characters. Another good point there, Shooter. I'm hearing you. Okay, I don't know why they took a runabout. Any mission in the Gamma Quadrant with Captain Cisco would warrant the Defiant. There's a very good point, and absolutely. And why was Cisco needed on a survey mission anyway? Another very salient point, Shooter. Thank you so much. Very, very well made points.
Like when they sent Picard in as a secret ops man.
Yeah.
It's like Picard, secret ops, really?
Right. You can see doing with Kirk because he's cool, but Picard.
Yeah, but that's completely different personality.
Yeah. Indeed, it's just Hungry Boy says, actually hungry for a clubhouse secret handshake, says. Misuse of motifs from Aliens 86 again? Oh dear. At least Funny Quark surpasses the A plot. Rating one hungry, lonely Horta seeking a tasty script but starves. Wow, good one. Thank you, Hungry Boy, you rascal. All righty then.
Says, Canadian Spider-Man just walks through the door, boss. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's all right, Canadian Spidey. What's up, buddy? I hope you are doing well, sir. Let's see here. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Raymond says, C. I can't think of anything to say. Well, you did say you thought of just enough, buddy. That's all that matters, man. And I can relate. What?
Nothing. It can't be read on air. Don't put it up on the marquee. But it's good.
Gotcha. Lisa says, F. Wow. Hated it. Cisco's bad decisions, no diplomacy, but wins the ship in the end. Ugh. Lucky the Dominion didn't vaporize them all in the beginning, middle, or the end. O'Brien fixed the ship. You know,
yeah,
the whole episode is kind of a mistake from like what Shooter said and like what you're saying, Lisa. The fact that you took you took a runabout into the Gamma Quadrant was really stupid to begin with. So
yeah, it's very dumb.
Michael Beacom says, D. It was okay. However, okay, dude, with a D, Michael. He says okay to give it a D. Dude, man. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. Just messing with this rattling your case, everybody. He said it was okay. However, it shows the problem the writers create for themselves when they make supposedly unstoppable opponents that should have wiped out our heroes before the first commercial.
Yep.
Yeah, true. So they have to have a reason the villains chose not to win immediately.
Yep.
Pretty weak. Per the companion, this was supposed to be a ripoff or homage to the Alamo, page 372. Bear admits that. Kiliana, cute babe, by the way, was weak. He thought they never should see her. He thought they never should see her. She'd just be a voice on the box, and they stay inside to increase the tension. I agree. Page 372. Hans Bimler is proud of the scene where Cisco talks about the lives that have been lost and the cost of war. He said it was amazing no captain in Trek had sat down before to lament this. That's because in Roddenberry Trek, war is not.
That's right.
A normal part of the world, of their world. Arg.
I love Michael.
If any phrase shows how far they strayed from Gene, this is it. Also, thank God this was not done today, or Miles and Muniz would definitely kiss. Ugh. Yeah. Well, you know something, Michael? What?
JPRPH1 has joined the chat, boss.
Oh my goodness, JP. We haven't seen you in a dog's age there. JTR PH1. I haven't seen you forever. Good to see you, my friend. So, one thing though, Michael, is see, Kirk has definitely agonized about losing people under his command. I know it wasn't a war, but Kirk, I mean, he always has to get on with it because they only have so much time on the show. But if it's Kirk definitely, it's torturous to him when he has to lose people.
Mm-hmm.
So Fandom Outsider says, "See, the writers, in quotes, are terrible. Line of dialogue. Jimador weapons contain anticoagulants, so victim will continue to bleed regardless of treatment. And Worf Klingons consider a body an empty shell."
Agreed.
Which is but he didn't say that.
I have that all in my notes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. However, my human parents had a custom of sitting Shiva, so I shall sit with you, my friend. It's that easy. These writers are as slimy as the Vortis. That's a good point there. Yeah,
I totally agree.
That's the way you do it. The great enigmatic drop bear says C-. The fundamental problem with this story is that it asks us to believe that changelings are helpless. They are not. Or at least they can't be for the series to retain its credibility. O'Brien and Dax could have easily been neutralized by the changeling and the Jimador that teleported onto the ship while Sisko and Worf were meeting with the Vorta. Let's see. I think it's also very difficult to believe that the Dominion would allow one of their ships to fall into the hands of the Federation. Surely they would have destroyed it after the changeling died.
Yep, and they would have sent more than one ship.
And why did Kira tell Quark about the crashed Dominion ship? Surely a major breach of security protocols. That's another very good point there, ED. Well said as always, sir. Absolutely.
Don't worry about it, enigmatic drop bear. I don't care about the grammar. You want to know why I care about the grammar? Because this is not only is this informal speech, and nobody's basically putting it in writing. This is the only way you can communicate through multiple horrible autocorrect and auto replace algorithms.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
You don't have time to type it out. Then you have to put it into a live chat in a tiny metal box. Honey, don't worry about it. I don't. I think that people that are like that with one another are jerks anyways. We're just here to shoot the breeze, and this is not the ideal medium to do it. I'm just flattered you take the time to even try and have a conversation this way. So we love you, and don't you sweat it, honey. Don't sweat it.
Good night, Sandra. Good to see you.
Sandra.
Thanks for being here. Edie, look, you write so brilliantly all the time, man. But everyone's going to have one of those grammatical. You don't think Raquel and I do it all the time? Not that we're good high standards. Well, she is, but I'm not. She doesn't chat that much. But I'm sure she made mistakes in the chat before. We all do.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
And you know what I do? I delete mine. When I retype it, it's terrible.
She can't take it. She deletes hers.
I know, but it's so hard. Do you know what I mean? Oh,
right.
It's terrible. It's so difficult. That's why I think that people who are mean with one another about it, those are just jerky pants people, and don't listen to them because it's already a total pain in the neck. And the fact that you are willing to go above and beyond to create this conversation and be a part of this conversation is amazing. So love you. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Let he who is without grammatical errors cast the first exclamation.
That is true. And we're just joshing. We're just shooting a breeze.
Dad man buddy says B+. I looked past the plot holes, but loved the action and that they made Sisko look to be competent captain, and that the crew died knowing they were doing their duties. All right, buddy. Absolutely. Pleasant Valley Picker.
He said duty.
He just duty. B+ for Pleasant Valley Picker. And it says the crashed Jimador ship is certainly a prize for the Federation to capture, but can't they keep it? Can't they keep it? A good premise. I like the suspense. Can't they keep it? Yeah, they're gonna keep it. and it's keeping us alive. And it's keeping us alive was a great line, as well as Worf's line. I have a game I'd like to play with him. I have a game I'd like to play with him. Had me laugh when Cisco and Kiliana realized if we had trusted each other. I got one backwards.
It's okay.
Oh, one was before that. Sorry, that the PvP. The Miles Minutes camaraderie was sweet. Loved their banter. Kiana proves again the Vorta cannot be trusted. Good moments when Cisco realizes they want something on the ship badly. Okay, so I got the 2 and 3 backwards. Sorry about that. But anyway, and they both could have had what they wanted. Were profound words. Even more important today. Yes. The final scene with Miles and Worf keeping predators away from Muniz's casket, sorry, don't know what to call it, was very emotional and a beautiful scene.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much, PvP. Pleasant Valley Big Air.
Yes. And everyone's
And-
making fun of my made up profanity, but yeah, they're not tolerating any monetized channels with profanity now. So Jerky Pants is going to have to
Well, it's got to be, folks. Sorry. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, you didn't mess up anything. This you're good. You're all right, PC. You don't worry about it.
I love you all very much.
Boost McFadden says D-. I don't remember this one, but it made Raquel angry, so it's crap.
Mark D with the C is here.
Never heard of him.
He was with Captain Nemo. He's supposed to be on his way to Risa, and yet here he is, caboosing. Caboose.
He could be an imposter.
No, this is the real deal. Mark D with the
It doesn't look like no Mark D with the C to me. He's got to prove us. No. All right, so Wolfie says, rating B-. Who knew the founders had a thing for large Vorta chest bumpers? I don't mind this episode. It's a bit of a mess, but it's entertaining. O'Brien versus the young lieutenant has its moments. Yeah, that was okay stuff. Max Redstone says C-. This episode is largely sacrificed to develop not any one character, but more so the traits of the groups in the show, and giving that what might be needed for the coming conflict with the Dominion. Indeedishness.
The chat's on fire. Everyone is so funny. Oh,
Cisco needs. I can't see it.
sorry.
That's okay. Cisco needs to lead yet have a basic disgust of the bloodshed. Worf and O'Brien show the conflict is facing mortality. Kalina shows just how shifty the Vorta and the trust gap between the sides are. This is not a great episode. This war is hell is a tri cliche.
Yep.
It needed to be done well, but
Yes.
I see it as a pill. You kind of have to take it. At least it's better than Sabarosa. Well, I mean, sure, that's a fair cop.
Green sex lamp alert. Green sex lamp alert.
Chief Engineer Mark Deal with a seal says D. This episode is a mess. Nothing makes sense. Mission-wise, tactically, and strategically on the part of both the founders and the Federation. Why was the Federation in a war zone so unprepared? Yeah, with a runabout. That's the best. That's really
ridiculous.
The best part.
Ridiculous.
Why didn't the Jem'Hadar just beam into the ship and overpower the crew? Good point. Worf and O'Brien both act out of character, and it's as if they forgot they were in Starfleet. No auto-destruct on the ship? You think there would be, right? Could Cisco have any more self-doubt? Only worthy moment was at the end with Worf and O'Brien sitting Shiva. Yeah, I mean, that was okay.
Yeah, it's still like the whole thing is like they're trying to show that changelings are ill or can get ill, and that's coming, but we already had that, so that still doesn't excuse the crappy writing. The crap. Anyway.
Save that ire because anyway.
Oh, here it comes.
Shall we move to the next one? You ready for the next episode? All right, folks. The next episode up is looking for Paul Mark in all the wrong
Oh,
places. Taking this episode in our
I saw
faces.
that movie at the drive-in.
Oh, funny title.
That's what the title's from.
Yeah, it is, and it's from a song called
Yeah,
but it's
Johnny Lee. It's
yeah,
from the soundtrack of Urban Cowboy.
yeah, yes, indeed. Well, go for it.
Looking for Parmock in all the wrong places. Oh boy. It's season 5, episode 3, prod code 501. We all watched this for the very first time, sadly, on October 14th, 1996. And now, if you would please turn your hymnal to the open source, or not the open source, but the user generated Wikipedia. I'll read the plot. Grilka, the Klingon ex-wife of Quark from a marriage of convenience, arrives at Deep Space Nine to seek financial advice from Quark. Worf is immediately attracted to her, but is told by her advisor, Tumek, that Worf's dishonor precludes her from mating with him. Quark wishes to pursue Grilka romantically, but is ignorant of Klingon mating rituals. What? Oh, I have to keep talking. Urgh! So he asks Jadzia Dax for help. Worf eager to prove himself capable of courting a Klingon woman, joins Dax in coaching Quark to win Grilka's affections. Through diligent efforts to learn Klingon culture, Quark is successful with Grilka. Her bodyguard, Thropok, becomes outraged at the unconventional relationship and challenges Quark to a duel. Unskilled at combat, Quark stands to either lose Grilka or be killed. Worf helps him using a device that enables him to control Quark's body movements from an adjacent room to help Quark defend himself in the duel. Although the device temporarily malfunctions, it doesn't malfunction, he breaks it, he defeats the bodyguard. The scene concludes with Grilka and Quark alone and enamored with one another. Worf opines to Jadzia that Quark is unworthy of such a great Klingon woman, and she counters that Worf's interest in Grilka is superficial and there are better options awaiting him. Since Worf fails to notice her hints, Dax initiates an aggressive romantic encounter. Worf is surprised but responds. In the final scene, both couples are in the infirmary. Dr. Julian Bashir deduces the source of their injuries. Dax and Worf decide to begin a relationship. In a subplot, Miles is faced with the increasingly uncomfortable situation with Major Kira carrying his baby and living with him and his wife, K-Cow. Miles and Kira begin to feel attracted to each other. But to avoid growing closer, Kira decides to take a trip to Bajor for a few days, only for Keiko to insist that Miles accompany her on the retreat. As the runabout is about to depart, Kira reveals that their destination is a highly romantic setting, which prompts Miles to back out of the trip. And I'll just add, they also say at the end that they are in another life, they would like to be together. And now I'll put it over to the captain. Captain, what did you think of this complete and utter crap?
Are you hearing me okay?
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an emergency, having to stand up, having a bad this episode is so horrible, it's giving me a bad Charlie horse.
Do you want to go on pause?
Oh man, I'm in bad pain. But I deserve to be in pain because of this episode that we're foisting upon the world. But we didn't make it though, did we?
No.
All right. Oh boy. Yes, you take the con.
Okay, boss. Okay, so obviously everybody knows that this is don't worry, the boss is okay. It's just a cramp. He's all right. He would let me know if he was in physical, having a medical emergency. He's not. So obviously, this is, the 1897 play Cyrano de Bergerac. And here are my notes. This episode was named after the song by Johnny Lee from the soundtrack for the film Urban Cowboy from 1980. We happen upon the O'Brien weirdos and their weirdo love triangle with Kira. The weirdo crap begins. Then straight to Jadzia's crush on Worf, now in a crush triangle with Grilka, who is now in a crush triangle with Quark and Grilka. The sexual and romantic tension between Miles and Kira is gross and weird. These people work together. They live with his wife and their child. He is helping her bathe. Why is Miles O'Brien helping Kira bathe? Why is this happening? Worf is cheesy and weird. It's hard to watch. Also, why do they say that that Worf has no experience with Klingon women? Not only does he have experience with Klingon women, but multiple Klingon women, but he was with Kalar. He has Alexander. They did everything except for tell everyone they were married, but they did get married according to Klingon ritual, because they did the full mating thing that he just did with Jadzia. So this is weird. So the half-naked massages continue with Miles and Kira. It's gross, barf. Sexy daydreaming of running away with each other while she's being massaged. Worf sitting alone, singing opera is the only thing good about this episode. It's true. Him sitting alone, Worf sitting alone, singing Klingon opera is the only good thing about this episode. Then the Kira Odo Miles love triangle crap again. Then Keiko doesn't want Kira to go to Bajor alone. This is hysterically bad writing. She actually says, "Are you going to allow the woman carrying your child to go on a trip alone?" This is the same Keiko who not only has been traveling for 3 years and living on a different planet than Miles and got pregnant with a one-off, but she wanted to rappel into a canyon, wound up in a horrible accident, and had to have her baby put inside of Kira. So why would she say, "Miles, are you going to allow the woman carrying your child to go on a trip alone?" Who's writing this? Let's just look at who's writing this. Let's look at who's writing this. It is written by Ronald D. Moore.
Wow.
It is complete and utter shite. It is just total shite. It's not even, I wouldn't even call this a TV episode. I don't know what this is. It's just multiple love triangles and complete and utter shite.
Utter shite. Captain Infinity and beyond. Good to see you there, buddy. I hope this doesn't happen again. I hope I'm okay. I don't know. Well, but I deserve to be in pain, I suppose. Wow. All right, folks. Okay. First of all, let's forget about the episode just for a split second. Star Trek: The Original Series, out of 3 years, has 3 comedy-based episodes. TNG, I can't remember. The animated series had 2. Mm-hmm. TNG, what was there? 2 or 3, maybe?
Yep.
Over 7 years. We're 5 years in now. 4 seasons plus 2 episodes. 3 episodes. What has it been, 20? What is this obsession with screwball comedy that embarrasses the show? Okay? That embarrasses
and all the
show.
bed hopping.
But to me, the worst bit, I'm not sure what that means, Neon Knight. That doesn't give me cramps. I have bad leg cramps. That's never happened on the show before, but I've had it plenty of times. Of late, but I don't know. I hope I can avoid it for the next the remainder of the show. So I'm sorry,
Can I
everybody,
just
about that.
quickly address Bush McFadden? He says, Lieutenant Commander Briggs, did this air on Valentine's Day? If so, I can
I
understand
don't
it a
know.
bit. But damn, I just want you to
Did it?
know that this Bush aired on October 14th. So
Oh, okay.
I like how you
I understand what you mean, though. Yeah.
wanted to make it a little bit like Valentine's Day when it's more like Halloween. Bush!
It is. I
Bush.
don't know. I mean, I think that I may have smiled a couple of times with Quark because he's just such a fun character, I guess. But first of all, you're writing Worf like a complete jackass idiot. All that stuff with I may just be to excuse it as just silly, dumb crap and not very good and not be all that angry. But the crap with the O'Briens and Kira makes me want to hurl. I mean, I can't take it. It makes me sick.
Yeah.
It's so creepy and stupid. And I think if Keiko wasn't encouraging it, if she wasn't the one encouraging it, it might be a little less disturbing. But she is. It's like, yeah, go to this planet with him. The whole thing is just what am I watching this for? I would rather watch a Star Trek show. We let you guys slide on being not all pure science fiction all the time. Like we'll watch an episode that's very entertaining, well done drama and action and suspense and all this other stuff with good characters. And we like these characters and we let you slide. We understand that you're not always going to be pure science fiction. But to do this kind of garbage is just, I know they thought they were being clever. A lot of people probably like this episode.
Why?
It will help you. More salts? I think I have too much salt already, Shooter, but I don't know. But I'm with you. I will. I'll think of something.
Bush is like, no, it's disturbing. WTF.
It's freaking disturbing.
Wolfie says, oh, Biles.
Oh,
I have some
Biles.
bile for you.
It's just disgusting. The whole episode is freaking garbage. I mean, it's just so stupid.
Well, and what it does is it essentially makes a joke out of the love anyways, right? Because everyone, basically every single person in the show is caught in a love triangle, right? So Odo's caught in the love triangle with Kira and Shakar, and now this thing going on with Dukat, and now this thing going on with Miles. Miles continually telling everyone that she's carrying his child, and then Kira's living with them, and they have a small child living there. But for all intents and purposes, they're basically living like they're married. They admit that they're in love with one another, and in another life, they would like to be with one another. They would go off to Bajor and never come back. That doesn't speak very highly of Miles as a father. And then we've got Worf just being in love with somebody who used to be married to Quark, and then Jadzia having to pledge her love to Worf because Worf doesn't see her as a potential mate. So every single interchange in this episode involves lust and sexual desire and relationships and campy, ridiculous romantic feelings and love triangles all the way around. Everywhere is a love triangle or a love square. It is so infuriating. But I know you were away from your computer when I said
no, I'm
this.
not. Go ahead.
But I gotta tell you, man, the whole thing where she actually says she allows the words, Miles, Miles Edward O'Brien, are you going to allow a woman carrying your child to go on a trip alone? What?
I heard you. That's absolutely, I mean, mind-boggling. It's so stupid. Everything about this episode is just stupid. The fact that it got made is the stupidest thing of all. That they're sitting around going, look how funny we are. People really love it. Look, people do love these characters. This is a very beloved iteration of Star Trek. Many, many people will tell you, when I don't agree, but they'll say it's my favorite Star Trek is Deep Space Nine, which is perfectly fine. I mean, but I think that's largely to do how good these characters are. So these writers, people get into their head that we can do anything we want with them. People like the characters because it's such a good cast that we can be lighthearted and funny, and people will go along with it. And they do get a lot of leeway on doing the lighthearted, funny stuff sometimes. And sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it works. But here, with the relationship crap. First of all, what is Worf? Is he 18 years old? I mean, falls in love and with a woman he sees for the first time, and it's like.
But not only that, Ronald D. Moore's always saying to everyone in the public that he's basically like the guy who created the Klingon lore. Why is he saying, he wrote this, why is he saying that Worf has no experience with Klingon women? Worf has had plenty of experience with Klingon women and married Kalar. They have a kid together.
Yeah, it's idiotic. So, what is your rating of looking for stupid ass episode in all the right places or whatever?
I have in my notes, this is a whole lot of effing barf. So F.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say
Then Alamarine, if you proceed, Alamarine, you'll come with me.
I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, and I would like to put Ronald D. Moore through the Klingon Rite of Ascension. If we could please put Ronald D. Moore through the Klingon Rite of Ascension in the chat, I would be so happy. If you are a member here, you have access to that custom icon, emoticon that I made for the group. And I would just like to call for Ronald D. Moore's agonizer, please, boss.
Hey, okay, you heard it. Ronald?
Your agonizer, please.
Yeah, I give it an F also.
Yes,
because
thank you.
It's kind of, it doesn't even, it should never have been made. It's really stupid. I think if I would be a little nicer to it and say that there's at least some cute moments to it. If it didn't have that, the thing that appalls me the most is the O'Brien Kira crap. It's just ass.
It's gross, and they're doing it in front of a little kid. What?
Yeah, I hate that crap.
Like, come on.
It's so Hollywood. Anyway, so my friends, I will now ask you what you're rating and any words you may have about looking for a Parmok right up their ass. And then
Don't swear. You don't want to swear.
And then I didn't swear. I said asteroid.
Yes, yes, that's what he said. We don't want to get demonetized.
I think you could say that word.
Okay.
Anyway, and then I will now bring us some Max Redstone Entertainment while number one is starring those.
Yes, and if you would like to rover Ronald D. Moore with your review, I don't mind at all. So, Klingon Pain Sticks, Rover, however you would like to show your full support of Ronald D. Moore, I would be very happy. I'm going silent now, folks.
Okay. So, folks, here we go. A limerick from the great Max Redstone. Is looking for Parmok in all the wrong places. And once again, a lot of throat clearing. In fact, I may have better do a major one. Let's see here. Let's hope that works out. Okay. A Ferengi love story, shouldn't we run? Such stories are not very well spun. But there's light from the dark when Word can team up with Quark, and pull off a great 2-for-1. Okay, I'll try it again since I messed it up. A Ferengi love story, shouldn't we run? Such stories are not very well spun, but there is a light from the dark when Word can. Oh, I think he meant when Worf can team up with Clark. He actually put Word, sorry, and pull off a great 2-for-1. So I'll do it one more time because you got the word there, and I just realized it was supposed to be Worf because I messed it up. We both made a mistake there, both Max and I. So he gets it one more spin of it. A Ferengi love story, shouldn't we run? Such stories are not very well spun, but there is light from the dark when Worf can team up with Quark and pull off a great 2-for-1. All righty then. Sorry about that, Maxie. All right.
And I was looking down reading, and then I was doing my notes when you stood up to go and walk around, and I missed that Zathras is here. Crap. Zathras is here. Yes.
Oh, good to see you, Zath.
Hi, sweetheart. Thank you for joining
All
us.
right, buddy. Good to see you, man. Absolutely. Always good to see Zephyrus. All right. We got JT Kirk. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. He says, like silicon-based microorganisms in the main computer, so are the standards of the star dates of our lives. Yes. Goods. Those. Do they even make those soap operas anymore?
It's so true, though. Like when you're watching it, that's all you're thinking. It's like Grilka's sleeping with Quark, but will Grilka sleep with Worf? And will Worf sleep with Jadzia? And will Odo ever forgive Kira for being in love with O'Brien, but also being with Shakar and then not being with him? And it's just like,
diapers.
Poopy diaper extravaganza.
Indeed. Enigmatic drop bear leads us off by saying an F. Not only is this not science fiction, it's not even good drama. We could call it Days of Our Lives in Space, but that would be too polite, giving this crap way more respect than it deserves. How can we be expected to like an episode where Morn is, while minding his own business, ordering another drink, unceremoniously turfed off his bar? So that scene, they think that's funny. It's like, man, Morn, that makes Worf look like even more of a jackass.
Yes.
Jerk off than he already.
Total D-bag.
Total jagbag. I'll apologize for this later. No, that's no excuse. Worf shouldn't do something like that. I mean, to another Klingon, sure, but not to Morn.
No, and he's so honorable. It's just, it doesn't make sense.
Worf would not do that. Shut up, man.
And not only that, Worf would already know that he could not go for Grilka. He would already know that. He doesn't need some old man to say, look,
that's true,
you've never dated a Klingon woman before, and you have no honor, so take your shadow and be goneth. No way.
Not to mention the fact that he should be put in the brig for assault by Odo.
Yeah.
Doing that crap. Jeez.
Yeah.
Worf hasn't pursued a Klingon woman? Hello. Where the hell do they think Alexander came from? Yes?
That's what I said.
It's stupidic here. The only redeeming part of this episode is that Odo seems to be back to his no-nonsense, cynical self. Yes. Aside from those scenes, every other relationship building scene in this episode was put simply weird, unbelievable, and ridiculous.
Yes,
we really are plumbing new lows here.
We are. Oh, this is a great review, Edie.
Indeed. This episode needs to be beaten with pain sticks, chucked in the agony booth, and then run over with the Claboni Alamarine. Indeed. Well said, Edie.
Oh, right boss, you have a gift.
With you.
You have a gift waiting for you, Edie. That was a sensational review.
Indeed. Oh, Sean
you
Carter.
Have a gift from Sean Carter.
Thank you.
From Mars.
Thank you, Sean. Good to see you. Appreciate you, sir. Says, when you're done with the episode, I need to type in the two in the two Trek limits I wrote last night. Feel free, sir. We would love to see them. Thank you again, Sean. Steven, aka the Kal-El Superin, says C-. Although a Quark-centric episode is usually a good one for various reasons, this one just didn't seem that appealing. It seemed extremely unlikely that Quark, who was a Ferengi businessman, that he is, first and foremost, would spend the majority of his time pursuing Grilka unless there was some financial gain to be had as a result. By the way, another thing about that, Cal, is you notice how this is all just done for cheap laughs for one episode. They never ever go back to it. Sorry, they're not spoiling anybody. I'm just letting you know that this is all done for cheap laughs. And that's what another thing the show, and there's no continuity to this other than to start off the stupid, in my opinion, the Worf Dax relationship, which I don't like personally very much. And that's what this episode was really launching. Anyway, some financial get Worf acting in an adversary role to Quark after being, hang on, find your number, your next one here, sir. Hang on. Admonished in his own failed attempt at pursuing Grilka also seemed out of character, despite the whole Cyrano thing was also badly conceived.
Yep.
Despite the implication that he was living vicariously through Quark's associations with Grilka, hang on. O'Brien must suffer trope takes many forms, and the events in this episode is one of them. We see a moment where O'Brien has a chance to escape from Keiko, but being a family man of honor, hang on. Number 5. chooses not to take it. And lastly, we see the start of the Dax and Worf relationship. Dax's influence on Worf's character seems noticeable, even in this episode, as we begin to see more. Hang on. Lighthearted side to a more lighthearted side of the character that hasn't been seen very often. This episode, worth a rewatch, but it's also nonsensical. In short, it's entirely skippable, in my opinion. Thank you, Cal. Appreciate you.
Boss man,
yes.
Rob Altus has walked through the door. He's waving hello. He's been here the whole time, and he's left a gift for you.
Oh, wow. Altus, good to see you there, Rob. Thank you so much, my friend. Let's see here.
It starred.
Thank you, Rob. You're too kind, buddy. Appreciate you. He says, hail, Clobby, Raquel, and chat. Been lurking and laughing. Oh, Miles, indeed. I can't say
we love you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you, buddy. Dave G. Sound says, A+. This is the first DS9 episode that Clobby's review made me spit out soda laughing. The quantum outcome caused by the terrible, creepy writing ended up bringing me great joy this day. Oh, you're too kind. Thank you, buddy.
So good. So funny. Oh,
thank you, sir. Thank you kindly. Let's see. Oops. Pleasant Valley Picker says Z-. The title alone told me this would be total crap. Back to soap opera time. Worf head over heels like a schoolboy. Quark's ex-wife, a convenience of marriage, or marriage of convenience, either way. Let's see here. PvP. I'm finding your next one, PvP. Sorry. Oh, was that number? Okay. Okay, I got you. Number 2. Sorry. Okay. Can't Quark get enough of the holosuites? On the holosuites? In the holosuites. Sorry. Yeah, I'm hearing you. The Miles Kira Keiko plot is total cringe. Miles massaging Kira, foot massages, Miles helping Kira out of the bath. Oh my God, that makes me sick. And by the way, as a man, she's wonderful. So it's not like maybe I'm jealous, but it's just still, it doesn't need to be in this show.
Naked co-worker gets out of the bathtub. You are standing there with a towel, and your daughter is watching all of this.
Oh, God.
Come on. Horrible.
So stupid.
Horrible.
Keiko recommending they spend 3 weeks in Ireland. Creepy. Yeah. Yes, very creepy. So bad there is no A story, as both are B stories, more like BS stories. Well said, PvP. I'm right there with you. Eric K., the Great Bronze Rinser, says F. 1 of 72. Clobby and Raquel may love this episode, but I must disagree. Just hated every part of it. It is like the writers all left the room and the people of MILF Manor came to write this. I've heard of that show, I think.
I don't even know. I just know what the acronym means, but I didn't know it was a show.
No, there's actually a show.
Oh.
With that title, I do believe.
Rob Altus says, is there a C story? Well, Rob Altus, it really depends upon how you look at it, right? Because you have to look at how each love triangle plays off of each love triangle. So you have to look at the couples, right? So here we're going from Grilka, Quark. Yeah, no, it's just so confusing. There's it goes all the way to Odo. It goes all the way to Odo on this one.
I apologize. Everyone. No, I apologize to PvP. I left one of his out. So
go ahead.
He says there was I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry about that, Pleasant Valley. He also said Worf helping Quark cheat in battle is not honorable. That's a good point. Worf cheating and Worf Dax romance starting. Notice how many question marks I used. There's a reason. Thank you, PvP. I'm sorry I left that one out, but that is a very salient point. Catman says, I give it a FFFF. Truly hated this episode. It was a waste of time.
Nice one, Dee.
Wow.
Captain James T. Skywalker just walked through the door.
What's up, buddy? Captain James T. Skywalker. Good to see you, my friend. All right. Okay. Where we at? Oh, JT, Kirk says. F+. Wow. Quark calls Grilka an object he wishes to acquire, and she likes it. Dax and Worf stagger in public in front of subordinates with their fracking stink all over them, unofficially into the extreme.
Yeah,
unofficially.
Yeah,
unofficially. Sorry,
yeah.
JT.
I totally agree. It's really something. I don't know who this Ronald T. Moore character thinks he is.
Everyone worships that guy because of his. Well, never mind. Neon Knight just says D. Thank you, Neon, buddy. Understand. Thank you so much.
Everybody might love Ronald D. Moore, but here, Ronald D. Moore goes through the Klingon Rite of Ascension, and we regularly rover him.
Indeed. Wolfie says rating D. It's a Wookin pud. It's a Wookin punub performed by Bawit. Okay. All right. I hear you. And don't worry, I got your message, but Wolfie, help me remember to when we get after we review the last episode, remind me of the pictures you sent me. Shooter says D-. Love is in the air everywhere I look around. That's a song. So Cyrano de Bergerac this time. Cyrano de Bergerac this time. At least Dax and Worf finally in a relationship. This isn't so bad as they've been building to it last season. But were they though? B story good. B story good. Good points. It didn't take much of screen time. Okay, perhaps a professional masseuse should have been employed. Alrighty. Okay. Zathras says F. Babylon 5 is better than DS9. Zathras out. Certainly is. Phantom Outsider says D-. Worf playing Cupid Cyrano over Quark to somehow show Worf's ability to court a Klingon woman while not actually courting her. The O'Briens in these are the days of our lives. Of course, Miles has find your next one now, buddy. I gotta find your next one. Feelings for Kira. He'd have feelings for a Horta, anything that's not Keiko. Was there a deleted scene where Polly Water from Psi 2000, Naked Time, got into the station's water? That didn't make sense, he says. Also, regarding last episode, Robert Tomlinson was married and killed in Balance of Terra, and Kirk goes to see his yes, right. It's his widow, new bride, in the chapel at the end. So much for not dealing with death. Also, the last episode, but Robert Tomlinson was the kid married? Oh, Robert Tomlinson. Yeah, he was in okay, I see what you're saying now. That was a little confusing, but I see what you're saying. Okay, hang on a second, everybody. Boots McFadden said, "It's a love dodecahedron."
I just want to say that Boosh McFadden, I absolutely love you for bringing up the dodecahedron. I know right now that somewhere D. Bud Martin is smiling, and I could definitely tell you that I am smiling because he brought up by any other name. And I know Jerome Bixby is somewhere smiling, and so is DC Fontana. So hail to Boosh for the dodecahedron
like that.
reference.
Yes.
Love you. And let's welcome the Green Laser to the chat.
The Green Laser?
And he says, thanks for the membership.
Hey.
Guess who gave you the membership, Green Laser? It's a guy we know and love. His name is Larry. You could say his name twice, but he's such a gentleman, you ought to say it thrice. Larry! And
welcome,
Lemon Pie here.
Lemon Pie. All right, welcome. What a great chat we have here tonight. Good to see you. All righty. Michael Beacom says, D. The title lets you know not to take it seriously. The rip-off de jour this time is Cyrano de Bergerac. Again, A and B plot. Ron Moore, if your A story can't carry the whole show, maybe it means your script is weak. And the B plot, is Keiko trying to get Miles and Kira to consummate a relationship?
Yeah.
Dear Californians, just because you're weird doesn't mean we are. But it is so Hollywood, isn't it? Holy shite, is it Hollywood?
And the thing that the worst thing about it is at the end when they're like, oh, maybe it was just the heat of the moment. It's my hormones. We don't actually like each other. It's just, the tension from having to live, the Three's Company lifestyle. No, none of that. They actually confess their love to one another and say that if they had another chance in another life, they would leave and go to Bajor, and he would leave behind Keiko and his kid and the other kid too, or well, this kid too. So it's just nuts. I just can't believe it. I want to rover Ronald D. Moore. Anyway.
Yeah. Is Gonzalo Bergali here? And the lovely Sherry?
No, I didn't see.
I'm seeing that we got a couple people getting gifts. Oh, they must be from earlier ones?
Oh, they might be.
It says Gonzalo. Maybe it's just showing them to me on the other thing.
I think it's just showing them to you, boss. I don't actually get to see any of that stuff, so I'm not aware of it.
It says Katie was gifted. Maybe these are earlier ones on different times because there are a bunch of them. I don't know how that works. But anyway, thank you if you're here. Anyway, if this were on Cinemax, they'd all three be in the hot tub together. I must admit, I liked the tag where they are they're all in sick bay with smiles on their faces, but even then, Siddig overplayed it. Andrew Garrick Robinson's directorial debut. Well, wow. Trivia. TOS callbacks per Book Thupak. Thupak later by Phil Morris, who originally appeared in Miri as one of the kids. Also loved Joseph Ruskin Gout from Gangster Tarskillion, of course. Again. Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
Book Thupak. What callbacks? Book Thupak, played by Phil Morris. Yeah, he was in Miri. That's right. He was the son of Greg Morris from Mission Impossible.
Yep. So when he says book, everyone, you should know that's in-text citation. So it's very academic. What he's doing is he's doing the actual quotes from the text. So that is vetted material, and you can trust it. It's not just crap people said on the internet.
Yes, indeed. So I was thinking.
Oh my goodness. Eric K just reported that Larry did it again. He gifted 5 more Clobbering Times memberships.
Oh, thank you, Larry.
Larry!
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate you, buddy.
He's the sweetest human. I love you. I'm sending smooches for your whole face.
Our lovely Lisa says, B. Hilarious episode. Loverboy Worf. Who would have thought? She says, Ferengi and Klingon pairing, fantastic. Kieran O'Brien tension, understandable, and the surprise, well, kind of Dax and Worf.
Ew.
Bashir having to tend to the war wounds.
Ew.
Episode was ridiculous to the point I couldn't help but laugh. Well, there you go, Lisa.
It's great, Lisa.
There you go. You had a good time. That's all that really matters.
Yes.
That's what it's for. Booch says, EFF. F. I don't know. Bashir closed medbay because of all of the sores he had to look at. I remember the Quark Grilka stuff being kind of fun. I must have blocked out the rest of it. Damn you for reminding me. Barf. Sorry, Boosh. Sorry, Boosh. Oh my goodness. Hungry Boy says, rated 1 Horta, 50% of this episode was consumed by the acidic Gilmore Girls space bile of this screenplay turning Worf into a Piggly Wiggly Cyrano.
Yeah.
Without the Quark stuff, this would have been... Understand, sir. I understand. Sean Carter says, There once was a captain called Kirk who gave ladies a look with a smirk. He engaged his libido and docked his torpedo by lifting up red and blue skirts. Wow, that's fantastic. I like it, man.
Bravo!
There once was a Vulcan named Spock,
Uh-huh.
whose emotions were those of a rock.
Uh-huh.
And the good nurse Chapel said, "Check out these apples." And he gave her a taste of his Vulcan plummy soup. Whoa. Good save. Good save. Well done. Nice stuff, buddy. The great.
I'm crying. I'm actually laughing so hard. I'm
Oh,
crying.
that's incredible. Nice stuff, sir. Max Redstone says, "Ugh." Ronald D. Moore apparently could not be bothered to write an episode that would credibly initiate a Worf and Dax relationship.
Agreed.
So RDM cooked up this Genesis torpedo worm.
Yep. Agreed.
Wow,
Oh,
nice.
Katie Dax just walked through the door. Everybody, Katie
Oh,
Dax
my.
is here.
Hey, Katie. It's good to see you, dear. I hope you were doing well. We always love seeing you here. Katie Dax, everybody. All right, let's see. This is an attempt to somehow combine Star Trek and Melrose Place, topped with Love Boat. OMG.
Yeah.
I made myself puke a little. There's Will to Live. There's Will to Live. I'll never get back. Yes.
Exactly.
Wow. Once again, Worf is written like a D-bag. He really is a D-bag in this one.
Yeah.
He's terrible
and
in
they keep
this.
doing it.
This episode feels like it was deleted from The Last Jedi.
Yep.
Exactly. I sentence Ronald D. Moore to be stuffed into a torpedo playing Klingon opera at 500% volume.
That sounds good to me.
But the love stories here are so contrived, phony, intellectually disgusting, and brain self-deleting.
Yep.
It is so bad,
Yep.
it seriously makes me rethink the merits of watching HGTV. Wow. Well said, Max A. Well said. Hey, Katie's here. Let's see what Katie has to say. Very late again. Hey, we're just glad to see you, dear. Whenever you get here, you get here. We love it. Sorry, this one, Looking for Par. It's one of my favorite episodes of DS9. Cute humor, adored Grilka, and I thought Quark playing hero was good. Also, Worf and Dax are canon. Woohoo. Well, thank you so much, Katie. It's good to see you here. Mark D with the C, the chief engineer for the final episode review of this episode. This episode. This is an episode of Star Trek or the dating. Is this an episode of Star Trek or the dating game? Okay, so maybe the ship episode wasn't so bad.
Hard P.
Yeah. Looking for Parmok may be worse than To the Pain, which means, Princess Bride stuff. I leave you in anguish, wallowing in freakish misery forever. P.S. Raquel must watch Princess Bride soon.
Okay.
Must she? Must she, though? Must she?
Oh, Katie came in and said
Katie gave
rating
it an
A.
A. Thank you, Katie. Love you. Good to see you. All right, well, let's move on to our final episode of the Evening.
Let's do it.
Hopefully I will last. I'm fine so far. Nor to the battle the strong. Go for it, number one. Take it away.
Nor the battle to the strong. Season 5, episode 4, prod code 502. We all watched this for the very first time on October 21st, 1996. And now I'm going to read from the plot. Holy macaroni, is this ever long? On Wikipedia. This might actually give Erdman a run for his money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs on Jumpin' Jehoshaphat. Okay, let's do it anyway. I'll try to be quick. Jake Sisko is returning from a medical conference with Dr. Bashir. Although Jake intended to write an article about Bashir, he can't find anything interesting in the latter's description of the conference. They receive a distress call from a Federation colony which has just been attacked by the Klingons in violation of the ceasefire agreement. Seeing the potential for a gripping story, Jake persuades Bashir to take him along. Jake has trouble handling the chaotic emergency room situation at the hospital, particularly triage. One of the patients, a Starfleet soldier, claims to have been shot in the foot by the Klingons, but Bashir discovers that the wound was self-inflicted, intended to get him out of the fighting. Boy, the writing's bad. Jake is disgusted by the man's cowardice. Everyone expects the Klingons will overrun the settlement within days if no reinforcements arrive. On Deep Space Nine, Jake's father, Captain Benjamin Sisko, takes command of the starship Defiant to come to aid the colony after the ship intended to deliver those troops is destroyed in transit. When the power goes out as a result of the Klingon attack, Jake and Bashir attempt to retrieve a portable generator from their runabout. The two come under enemy fire, and a terrified Jake abandons Bashir and runs for cover. He encounters a mortally wounded Starfleet soldier and tries desperately to help him, but the dying man accuses Jake of merely trying to atone for his cowardice. By the time Jake returns to the hospital, Bashir has returned with the generator, but has sustained injuries as a result of the fighting. Jake claims that he became disoriented and was knocked unconscious, and Bashir blames himself for putting Jake in danger. Jake speaks with the soldier who wounded himself, and the two commiserate over the terror of battle. He has an angry outburst over the calm demeanor and dark humor exhibited by the staff, but refuses to tell Bashir what is bothering him. The Klingons storm the hospital, forcing the staff to evacuate the patients. Pinned down by disruptor fire, Jake picks up a dropped phaser rifle and fires blindly into the air. His shots cause a cave-in that knocks him unconscious. When he wakes up, Sisko and Bashir are standing over him. He has suffered only a few bruises, and the cave-in delayed the Klingons long enough for the patients to be evacuated safely. The Klingons have withdrawn from the area, and the ceasefire has been reinstated. Although Jake is considered a hero for his actions, he writes the truth in his article, concluding that the line between courage and cowardice is much thinner than he originally believed. He gives one copy to Bashir and another to Sisko, who tells Jake how proud he is. And that is all the internet has to say about Nor the Battle to the Strong. Boss?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's some compelling drama here. I guess it's one of those another one of those. I mean, the kind of war as hell drama. We've kind of got that's kind of a recurring theme tonight, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
As a drama, I guess it's okay. It's compelling in some ways. It's just I hate to be a broken record when it comes to DS9. I've been saying this since we started reviewing the show. Sometimes they do stories that I think are, even when I think they're they're fairly well done, well acted, which this is. It's just not really why I go to Star Trek. Mm-hmm. It's not what kind of it, but I mean it's well done. I don't really hate it so much. I mean it's not really my cup of tea with Star Trek. Does that make any sense? I mean,
yeah, well, I totally agree. I agree.
You know, I guess it's a good enough story if that's the kind of thing you're into.
Well, I don't know. I just I feel as somebody who grew up in the 1970s, I have always felt that this is a MASH episode. And I sort of feel like who wrote this? Let me just check who wrote this. The story is by Bryce R. Parker, and the teleplay is by a gentleman who I have really I don't know. I just don't like his writing. Rene Echevarria. I sort of feel like Jake is put on trial here, and whether or not he's a coward. And he starts out, they play him out to, judge this grown man as a coward. And then he quickly learns through a trauma that there's a thin line between cowardice and being a hero.
Right.
And that's all fine and good, except for the fact that people in science fiction, where we don't consider Jake on trial for that. Here, Jake jumps up 2 years. So Jake in previous episodes was only 16 years old, and his age is canon on Starfleet through StarTrek.com. So it's not like it's Memory Alpha. It's not like it's IMDb. He's supposed to be 16 years old, and now all of a sudden he's 18. He's never had any Starfleet training. He's never been a part of Starfleet. When Miles first started showing him like how to run ops and stuff, he immediately said, I want to be a writer. I don't want to do this with my life. And so he doesn't have any training. So here we have this person saying they're 18, but we've been led to believe that he's 16. And we're sort of judging whether or not he be a coward in battle.
He's a child.
When he's a kid and he
Yeah.
has no Starfleet training. So it's kind of like, why are they doing this? We needed to do this with another character. Not, first of all, not with a child. And second of all, not with somebody who we've openly discussed has no interest in Starfleet. He has no training.
No.
So I
Good night, Katie.
don't know why am I doing this?
I think Katie says she's running. Good night, Katie.
Good night, beautiful. Hope school
Jake,
is going
no.
well.
I think she said she's going. But someone said good night to her. That's why I said that. But
Yeah.
So, Katie, great seeing you there. Please stay if you are staying, but if not, either way,
Yes, we love you, honey. Hope school is going well. Hope you were dancing. Hope you were practicing and dancing. Hope you have a great show coming up. Of course, everyone, if you don't know, Katie is a ballerina. And I'm always wishing her luck because I am also a dance mom. And so when you have a dance kid in university, you got to cheer them on. And so I'm cheering on Katie. We love you, Katie. And tell your mama we said hi.
Indeed. Great to see you there.
So you can see where I get this opinion, right? Because I sort of feel like the entire premise is preposterous. So they try and play out this drama and it's sort of like, oh, Jake learns his lesson about what it is to be a real hero and not to judge a grown man as a coward who shot himself because he didn't want to go into battle. What? Oh, you're doing Swan Lake? I'm so proud of you.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
That's going to be amazing.
Fantastic, dear. Fantastic. Good luck. Big time. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. The episode, it's just not what I signed up for with Star Trek. I understand that. I accept it more with something like Babylon 5 for them to do stories like this, and they do them so well. This one takes characters that aren't in that same kind of world and just kind of warps them for their stories. Yeah. It just doesn't work for me. Like you said, he's a kid. I don't know. This doesn't thrill me very much, this episode. But anyway, continue with your notes.
Okay, here are my notes. It's a Jake episode, and we have Jake experiencing a MASH unit. This is a MASH episode. Miles asks Quark to design a drink for Kira. More of the previous barf spilling into this episode. Another weird relationship discussion about Kira and Miles's relationship. It's hard to let their secret love confession go if we have in another life barf and him asking Quark to design her a coffee. Come on, give me a break. Odo deals with being a solid. This has basically no effect on me. It's a fleeting moment. We don't get to experience enough of it. We could have a nice adult conversation about it, and yet we don't. We bring it up and we leave it alone, which is a failure in this episode. I would also like to say that the beautiful moments and thoughts about fatherhood are a brilliant aspect of this show. Far too often we focus on a parenting coming from a mother and daughter or a mother and son perspective. We see this strength of character in mothers and in motherhood portrayed quite liberally in all of our pop culture. Very rarely do we have these beautiful, tender moments where we see a really genuinely good father who is in tune with his child, has an intimate life with his child where he can have intimate discussions about his child's development, his child's growth, his child's emotions. This is very mature. It's very beautiful. And I think that we need more examples of this in popular culture. That aside, Jake deserts Bashir, and for some reason we're supposed to be surprised, but we're not surprised because Jake is a 16-year-old boy. He has no military training. He has no business being on the front lines of a war in a triage unit that is just like a MASH episode. This is a civilian. This is a minor child. And so the entire apparatus falls off of the axle here as it rounds the corner and falls into the ditch. It just doesn't work for me. I don't normally expect adult behavior out of children with no military training. I don't know why I'm asked to believe this or to have this concept in my head. It's just stupid.
Yeah, and it's just even the stuff with the guy who shot himself and all that kind of like you said, the mash stuff or whatever. I don't. I'm not. That doesn't yell. That doesn't scream Star Trek to me. None of it does. None of this war is hell crap. I understand we got a war coming up and all this kind of stuff. And by the way, didn't after what happened in the first episode of this season with them saving, basically saving the Klingon Empire again?
Mm-hmm.
Why are the Klingons still there? Unless
Yeah.
why is that still going on? It's not Arcanus, but it was somewhere near. I forget which planet it was on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why is that still going on?
Because of poor writing. And this is another reason why I agreed to do your show 2 years ago when you said, hey, let's hang out and let's talk about Star Trek. This is one of the things that I was constantly bringing up on social media, and people were constructing these bizarre, hysterically elaborate conversations about how they knew or understood what was going on with the quote unquote Klingon War. The writing is so bad, and they go back and forth with all of these nuanced things and stupid contradictions that nobody knows their head from a hole in the ground as far as this Klingon War goes. And I completely agree with you. It is actually one of my long-standing arguments against the DS9, the enterprise of DS9. And I don't mean the ship. I mean like what it was trying to accomplish, because it just turns into gobbledygook. And people are left scratching their head, wondering, are we at war with the Klingons or not?
Yes, I don't. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But There you go. So, what is your rating of Nor the Battle to the Strong?
Jake is a little boy. If Jake were a little girl, and many of you know that I pay attention to this stuff because, my interest in academia is social science. If Jake were a little girl, if Jake were a 16-year-old girl, no one would be expecting him to behave like a seasoned, war-trained military personnel on the front lines in a triage unit at a MASH hospital under direct assault from vicious enemy fire and vicious Klingon hand-to-hand combat. No one would expect that from a 16-year-old girl. I cannot suspend my belief or disbelief here. I cannot. I completely reject this entire idea. He's a little boy. He's a sweet little 16-year-old boy. Of course he's going to run. Bashir shouldn't have brought him there to begin with. The entire idea is preposterous, absolutely stupid. They make a young boy, a child with no training, look as though he should be tried for either growing up and being a man and showing he's not a coward, or learning his lessons and then sharing them with everyone else about what it is to be a coward and what it is to be a hero. It is the dumbest thing ever. And no one should do this to a 16-year-old boy. He's a sweet little boy. Dumb, D-.
Don't blame you. I reserve my D's for ones that make me mad. This one doesn't. I just don't really think it works in Star Trek. It's kind of inappropriate in a sense. So I've got it at a C-. And that's that. I mean, I save it for the ones that really piss me off. So you got to piss me off to get lower than a D or lower. But yeah, nothing particularly interesting there for me. Nothing to see here. Move along, as they say. So I'll ask our good friends in the chat your rating of Nor the Battle to the Strong and any words you may have on it. And go ahead, go for it. Let's see.
The word has been given by the captain. Fire at will. Fire at will.
Let's see. While you're doing that, let me have Katie wrote something earlier about Jake was a great character. I appreciated his growth and ability to take the adult situation and the outcomes of the war. He grew up and didn't allow pain to control him. Okay. He'd been through a lot for sure. Let's see. This episode is good, but a bit of a downer. Like Jake, I like Jake, but I feel it is more of a sub story, not a war journal, not war journal Trek, says Katie. So there you go on that one. Kal-El says A plus. And he says, this was a wonderfully told story about the very real horrors of war through the experiences of not only the Starfleet personnel, but a civilian as well. Most people, when presented with a hypothetical scenario, can bluster all they want with bravado, but one never knows how one will react unless they are actually placed in the situation. A lesson that Jake learns well. Let's see here. Next one. There is indeed a very thin line between courage and cowardice, and it's easy to judge from afar, but those who have thankfully never had to discover it for themselves. The best moment in the episode, in my opinion, is when Sisko, after reading Jake's story, acknowledges how difficult it must be to acknowledge the feeling, must have been, to acknowledge the feelings of those who have been in battle, and that he was, proud of him for being courageous enough to write about it. An excellent episode of the series overall. Thank you so much, Kal-El. Appreciate that. JT Kirk says D plus. I fault the writers entirely. This score. Okay. For the score, I think it means Jake is written as a fiction writer, not a reporter. True. One doesn't need to attend J school, but there's a substantial difference between. Excuse me. Sorry. I know. Oh, I hate that. Don't you when you did out of nowhere comes a stupid sneeze? Sorry.
There's nothing you can do about it. It's not like you can grab your mouse in time.
Yeah, but I can't get to the mouse in time. Sorry. Oh man, I hate that.
We love you, honey. Bless you.
Thank you.
You have dusty brains.
Oh man, I do. But there's a substantial difference between fiction. What am I looking for? Where? Okay, sorry. Off my game here a little bit there, JT. And urinalism. I think you mean journalism, but urinalism works too, because pretty much today there's no journalism. There's only urinalism.
That's when you know you're in trouble.
You didn't. Did you? You did, didn't you? Well,
Your agonizer, please.
This story is more effective. Group here. Oh my goodness, that was not. I gotta hand it to you. This story is more reflective of the beliefs of the authors. Yeah, true. That's for sure. A fiction writer composing a story about themselves in a war zone as courageous and competent is preposterous. Well said, JT. As a journo, Jake is too active in the story where he's supposed to be an observer. Jake also shows his father his draft, a Starfleet officer who could censor him. Conflicts of interest abound.
I agree with JT Kirk.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just well said, buddy. All right. Zathras says C plus. At least Jake finally got to do something instead of drinking and betting. Drazi and Pakmara, ladies of the night. Whoa. Drazi?
Oh boy.
Did he have a Drazi girlfriend? I don't remember.
Mark wants to know if you're Bajoran and pregnant.
Who?
Mark.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to know if you're Bajoran and pregnant.
Yes. I wasn't going to let that out of there, but guess it's kind of set of the bag down. Lisa says, F. Hated it. Jake, the war correspondent, paramedic Jake, deserter Jake, poor Bashir, left behind,
Right.
ugh, PTSD Jake, angry Jake, sad Jake, hero Jake. The extras acting was better than Jake's. Wow.
Take a
Well
bow.
done, Lisa.
Lisa, that
Oh,
was
my
a
good.
cherry review. I love you. Smooches
Wow.
for your whole face.
Well
That was
done.
deadly.
Indeedishness. Michael Beacom says, 0, no rating. Unable to review this. Was deterred by light rain. Light rain outside, not bad. In your downstairs medicine cabinet, big problem. Oh, crap. Had to deal with pipes, so did not get watched.
Ooh.
My goodness, that is bad. Reading the companion, I thought this sounded like MASH, not
Yes.
Trek. Glad Raquel confirmed my impression. Trivia: one-time writer Bryce Parker was the FX supervisor of She-Hulk. Are we surprised? Wow, it's quite a long time ago too. It's been around a while then. Page 379.
Okay.
The ripoff this time was the Red Badge of Courage. Oh yeah. My question: why? Echeverria, whatever, got the title by flipping through Bartlett's quotations. No deeper thought to it than that. Wow.
And it seems like they can't conceive their own ideas. Have you noticed that, Michael? Like, I know you noticed that because you read a lot about these episodes like I do, and you read about the production stuff behind the scenes. Isn't it remarkable how they're always saying, "Oh, we took it from this story. Oh, we took it from this story. Oh, we took it from this story." When are you going to come up with your own story? Just write your own story. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, good point.
And there's like, how many of you? Like 15 of you? Like, write your own effing story,
ridiculous.
you nincompoops.
Pleasant Valley Picker says B. Nice to finally see a Jake-centered episode. Sirac Lofton gets to shine in this one. A good script, looking at the fine line, between courage and cowardice. Jake told Bashir to go there. He did. That's true. Can a split-second decision change your life? Great lines. Humanoid bodies are so fragile. Life doesn't work like that, kid. Maybe not a favorite, but a very good one. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Shooter says, B. Wow, a Jake-centric story. A true rarity. This feels out of sequence since hostilities with the Klingons should be over.
Yes.
A holdover saved from last season. That's all I could figure out because
Well, that's why we always give the prod code, though. And the prod code is bang on for this one, Shooter. So they actually just crap the bed. This is just some poopy diapers on the bed with some poop on it. The prod code is correct on this one.
Yeah, because you could have saved if you wanted to do the same story, saved it down the road and just made it Shimitar or something. But I don't know. It was probably supposed to be last year, and they just said to hell with it. But they don't even care. It's ridiculous. I like the premise, the horror of war seen through the eyes of the naive youth. Fear on the battlefield, but something's missing. It just feels off for some reason. Let's see. Maybe it is the field hospital setting. This is Starfleet, but it doesn't feel like it. Also, ground warfare feels redundant when you have starships. That's a good point, too. Yeah. Hungry Boy says 1/100th of a baby Horta egg. It opened with a Starbucks promo. Oh, yeah. Grr. Not sci-fi, but then doing George Clooney ER in space instead of sci-fi, worse. Baby Hortas died for this. Please cry for them. Catman says, Clubby, I give this one a D. Throughout it truly stunk as a Star Trek episode. They seem to never learn their lessons. We need lessons, though. Yeah, I thank you for that. Thank you, Catman. Phantom Outsider says, D, this was dumb. but Jake trying to lord it over that guy who shot himself, and then being chastised by a dying man, as Spock said when asked how will cadets react, each according to his gifts. Yep, we find your other one there, Fanty, because I don't see it. Let's see. Where are you? Fanty had another one, but I'm not seeing his second one.
Should be there.
Well, this one here was at, let's see, was 11:51. So if it's anything by after that, I don't.
No, actually, there isn't anything after.
Oh.
What the heck?
Your second one might have got nuked or vaporized there, Fanty, because we're not seeing one after. It says one of two.
It did get nuked.
Oh, crap. Sorry, dude. Wolfie says,
it got nuked.
Sorry. Try to put your number one back in there, Fanty's all I can say, because I guess it got torched. I don't know. That happens. C for Wolfie, it says lazy. Who cares if he can't run through mortar fire to do something? Not on the required list of things that are easy for humans to do.
Right?
Wolfie. Yes, I hear you. Absolutely. Max Redstone says D-. Decent idea, horrific execution. Not even Klinger could save this episode. This must have been taken from a waste bin of a mass writer's room garbage can before it was to be burned. Wow.
Well, when you're looking at that acronym too, it's not just the show that I'm hearkening. It's Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. So when we're talking about that, we're talking about, like, that's why I was mentioning in my notes how insane it would be to have these people with these bat lefts. There would be people with heads severed, arms severed. There would be people with their guts spilling out all over the place. This was not a place to bring a 16-year-old boy and then to make the story about whether or not he could rise to the occasion. What? There are surgeons that can't rise to this occasion. There are surgeons who would want to leave this type of extreme human violence that few people can take. It's pretty scary. It's really scary.
Absolutely. Max Redstone says another one from him says Jake was supposed to follow Klinger to do a story on the Federation Conference of Company Clerks, but who do they meet? Sherman T. Potter. Okay. Yep. Katie says not one of my favorite episodes, but the redeeming qualities is Jake played by Chirac. The turning point where DS9 starts to get darker, which I'm not fond of. Solid B. Thank you, Katie. Katie Dax. Phantom Outsider second would have been. This is silly with Jake playing at being a war journalist. He was writing fiction, but now he's an Edward R. Murrow, highly unlikely with all the actual writers out there. Who's buying these stories? Yes, sir. Thank you, Fanty. I hear you. The great enigmatic drop bear says C+. This episode tried to be at least four mash. Oh, I'm sorry, a mash episode. Oh, 4 mash episodes. Sorry, rolled into one. I got you. That was my mistake, not yours. It endeavored to be succinct in the way it portrayed many different coping mechanisms for different forms of trauma. Distracting oneself by staying busy, gallows humor, false heroism, running from danger, lashing out, guilt tripping. It was all on show here, though unfortunately too exponentially. The story's basic premise was flawed and peppered with plot holes. 3 episodes ago, the Klingons were pausing their proxy war with the Federation. Indeed. How did the runabout sneak through the Klingon blockade? Why did the Klingons wait until after Bashir had retrieved the generator before destroying the runabout? Why did Bashir take Jake with him if only one person was needed to retrieve the generator? Why did Bashir put himself in the line of fire when a security detail could be sent for the generator?
Yeah.
Etc. Yeah, all excellent points as always, Ed. And
Well, especially since they're jumping around with Jake's age too, right? So Jake was born in 2355, and in-universe date is unknown here, but it should be around 2373. But if this has been going on for 2 years, Kira's been pregnant for 2 years, like it doesn't work out. Jake needs to still be 16. Jake just can't suddenly be 18 and Kira's still pregnant. It doesn't work that way. You can't just go like, okay, we're in season 5, so Jake's 18 now. Everybody ready? Let's put him in a MASH unit. What?
they just don't care.
No, they don't
Apparently.
care.
And for our final review of the evening, the great Mark D with the Sea Chief Engineer from a lot, man, and he's on a away mission. Man, he's toughing it out with some reviews
He's
here.
a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
That's why he's the chief.
B-, says Mark. A lot of this episode does not make sense plot-wise, but I see what the writers were trying to accomplish. They want to show the horrors of war and give Jake, the writer, his hegemony.
No, Hemingway.
I know.
Oh,
3 favorite words. His Hemingway, moment. With peace talks ongoing, why would the Klingons attack? How would Jake be allowed to go into a war? I don't know. Got me. Despite these flaws, this story has some nice moments and messages, but they should have used a character other than Jake to make these points. P.S. Good thing General Patton wasn't in that hospital. Yeah, he was slapped.
Yeah. And Wolfie says, do all Klingons really use batless in battle? Apparently from canon, what is said in canon is that Klingons, even when they have weapons, can be stirred into a tizzy, stirred into such a blood savagery that they will actually discard their conventional weapons, like how would we call them? They're not just disruptors, but all of their their technical weapons, and pick up a bat'leth and start gutting people. So that's actually written in canon. So yes, Wolfie, Klingons really do use bat'leths in battle when they sort of get into this bloodlust stage of the fighting.
Well, that ends our reviews, and guess who's here with us?
Hey,
Dude, I thought,
how's it going, everyone? Hail to the chat.
Be on the road somewhere.
I were, but the missus wasn't feeling great. She was sneezing a lot, but thankfully she's not Bajorn.
Is she pregnant?
Wow.
So I don't have to worry about that front.
Is your wife Bajorn? Is she pregnant?
No. That's a joke. Those days have passed.
So you came back to the ship early?
So we came back to the ship early. Yeah. I escaped the Jem'Hadar. Yeah, so we just came back. Figured just come back and rest and get your Super Bowl. So no biggie. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
wow, cool. Well, good to see you.
Came back from Rise early. Yeah. So
Eric is worried that you're not really the real Mark D. He believes that. Are you smiling?
How do I prove it? How do I prove it? Yeah.
Are you Mark D Smiley, or are you Mark D with a C?
He might be the mirror.
Well, I'm always in a good mood, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I got any scars on my face I can add, like the mirror universe, yeah.
Yipper.
But we got to say, when DS9 goes off the rails, wow, does it go off the rails? I mean, in Star Trek, we get a couple TOS, you get a couple of semi clunkers, but alternative factor, but wow, when this shit goes bad, it really goes bad. I mean,
but have you noticed, like we've been rewatching TOS far longer than we've been rewatching DS9.
I have.
But have you noticed that, like, the more we rewatch TOS, the better it is, and the more access we have to rewatching the newer Treks, it just reveals so much. Like I said, it's the quality is centrifugal, and it disperses as you get further and further away from it, with the exception of Enterprise, which manages to beam right into the nucleus. So I just, I find it infuriating sometimes, but yeah, but I also find it beautiful and glorious at other times. So
Yeah, this is good. It's just nothing will ever touch the original series for me. But what can you do? By the way, we have a little bonus thingy. Our great buddy Wolfie has something for us. Just once in a while, and he always has kind of he's the ship guy, right? He's the tech guy. So let me do this first, so I can let me cover up so I can reveal it as a surprise thing.
From the first episode tonight, I guess he's.
Yes. Hang on a second. Let me get to that. He has some.
You have a present from Eric K. I'll star it.
Okay. No. Okay. Well.
Just so it doesn't go sailing off.
Let's see here. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that, buddy. He says, let's see. Changeling Mark D. Well,
Changeling.
we all know from DS9 when they change into the person, they know everything about them and how to act. True enough, right?
Eric's cheeky. Eric is cheeky.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Yep.
We got okay, a couple of pics. Yeah. Okay. I got. Oh, cool. That's so cool. Hang on. I'm gonna share this.
Okay.
Hang on a second. Thank you, Wolfie. I hope you're still here with us. We got those pictures.
Lisa says she doesn't like the DS9 elevator. And JP Sound says more of a lift.
Kind of like that. I kind of like that lift. It's kind of weird looking, but I like it. Don't like that one, huh, Lisa? I understand. Wait, go sometimes. All right.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
Huh?
I can see it.
There we go. All right, so we have the Takor station, I guess.
Nice.
Was this a model that you have, Wolfie, or tell if you're still?
That looks like a screenshot, I think, from the upscaled version. That's my guess, Wolfie, but because there's a certain version out there that a fan did that looks a lot better. I could be wrong, but when I was watching it, some of the effects were pretty nice.
Only Mark D with a C would know this kind of stuff. It's really Wolfie and Mark D with the C. We're going to put them in the brig of nerddom.
Yeah.
Nerds.
Wait a minute.
Nerds.
What did you say? What are you doing to him?
Say it again, Raquel.
Nerds.
Get those nerds! 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 What?
I love that.
I love it.
So, no, it looks like a model. No, because look at the background. It's like a.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, maybe it's a.
Yeah, somebody made it or something. I don't know where you got that from, Wolfie. Did you?
That is beautiful.
But that's not from the episode. Look at the background. It's just like a.
Oh, I got my glasses.
It looks
my
like a wrinkled black sheet.
Yeah, there's a sheet behind it. So
Wolfie
yeah,
might
it's
have
a model.
made this. Wolfie,
It's a model. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Let's see. He says Takor Orbital Facility screen used model for the Apocalypse Rising for the Drex file. So yeah, it's a nice.
Oh.
Okay, so that's.
Well, I was half right.
Shot of
so
the model.
It did
look,
yeah, but it did look like the TV show to me. Yeah. So.
Mark,
yeah.
No one had any doubt. You giant nerd.
Wait a minute. What did you call him?
Thanks for that.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Stop calling him.
Get those nerds! 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 What?
So here's the scale. Here's the scale thing. Which one is the core again? I'm trying to.
The green corner? On the right.
Is it the green one?
Is that the green one? Oh no, I can't. I got this.
Oh yeah. It is. It is. Yeah,
you can see the writing. It says 1,800 meters.
That's
it's
a big
1,800 meters high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Nice. Thank you for sending that, Wolfie. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Thanks for that, Wolfie. Appreciate it. I always like seeing that stuff. Look how small Deep Space Nine is compared to that big ass.
Wait, let me find DS9.
Federation station.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
Yeah.
Which that's the Earth. That's the one orbiting Earth. It was in Trek 3.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably still there. I guess the Earth orbiting station. Man, it is way bigger than all these other stations. Where's K7? K7 on here? I don't see K7.
And thankfully, there's no exhaust ports on
K7's
that.
at the bottom. Yeah,
No
that might
exhaust
be.
ports on that
There might be.
Federation space station.
That's good. That's
It's the
good.
Taraknor Cardassian repair station's bigger than Taraknor. Wow. There's the Starbase. There's what's that one? The Jupiter Station. Remember that one from Voyager?
Mhm.
Dry dock. Let's see.
Wow.
There's a different star base. At the bottom is K7. You see that way down there? It's little.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's tiny. Think Take. I remember that one. So it's a big station. Very cool. I love that kind of stuff.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Oh,
One thing they
Wolfie.
did.
What a
The
treat.
one thing they did mess up in the movies though is the scale when they have the the later Enterprise is so much bigger and they reuse the space station. So I was watching a YouTube video and they're pointing out how the opening just fits the the Enterprise. Is it E or F? I'm forgetting which model is there. Like oops,
E?
maybe E when it's going through the space dock.
What are you
one of the
talking
later
about? From which movie?
What are you talking
one
about?
of the next gen movies.
Movies.
Okay.
So they were comparing. They said actually that the ship wouldn't fit because it's so tight. Yeah,
That's Nemesis.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the
couldn't
ship
get in
is so
there.
tight going through, and then and if you compare the scales of
Right.
it wouldn't fit through with
Yeah.
the board. So,
Wow.
but they
Okay.
just ignored it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, the Wolfie's saying there has to be two separate space docks. But it's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same model. But that's just nerd and geek
Right.
fans watching Star Trek way too closely.
Yes, sir.
It's like
Yes.
it's like in Wrath of Khan when you watch real closely. One of the photon torpedo tubes is perfect, then damaged, then perfect. It goes back and
Yeah,
forth.
they get the
It's like,
shots
oops.
backwards.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens.
Oops. Yeah.
Whoops. Whoopsie.
That's okay.
It happens.
I love the movie.
Well,
Yeah.
folks, hey, next week, we got 2 more episodes from you, and we got these. Look at this. Episodes on tap for next week.
Dun 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 dun.
Maybe one, at
Yes,
least one
I
good
know.
one, right? We're not. That's
At
not a
least one
spoiler, right?
classic. Yeah. So yeah. Yes.
Do we
at
have any more
least.
Kira and Brian coming up, and Keiko? I hope. I don't
We
want to
got a
miss
lot
out
of
on that.
Keiko coming up.
We got lots of Keiko coming.
The
Oh
classic.
yeah. Lots of
You
it.
love Keiko.
So Phantom says, "See fake Mark D with a C doesn't know." LOL. I think I'm a clone in the mirror universe. Yeah.
I think I'm a clone now. Remember that song? That's the song by Al Yankovic. I think I'm a clone now.
Yeah.
Because every chromosome is a hand-me-down. I think I'm a clone now. There's always
I
one of
miss
me
Captain
just
Kirk.
hanging around.
I miss
Miss him?
Scotty.
You need to
I
start
miss my
watching them.
boy.
Just pop in an episode.
I know.
Just throw one random. Throw
just gonna
throw
watch the
Devil in the
movies.
Dark in there. Just the movies. What do you mean? You already watched those for Christmas, didn't you?
Yeah, but it's not Christmas anymore.
Wait a
Lisa's leaving. She says, "Thank you, Clobby and RM. This is a lot of
Oh.
fun. Listen to me.
Good night,
Lisa,
Lisa.
you are my hero because you came in here, you did the reviews, you rocked it, you ruled it. It was awesome. You were fab. And I love you. And I hope you'll come back because we had great fun with you. Plus,
Indeed,
your
Lisa.
dinner looked
Rock and
fabulous.
roll.
And I want to eat your banana cream pie.
There you go. All right, Lisa. Great to see you. Love you. Well, hey everybody. We've been here a good long time, so I guess we're gonna start easing our way out. Just wanted to say thank you all for being here. Let's see here. Any closing words, Raquel, before we start the show notes and then the shout outs?
Yeah. First, I want to ask everyone, please buy
What are
my
you
book.
doing?
Oh, that's me hitting the keyboard
Please buy my book, Science Fiction Tales. It's available on your Kindle device. It's also available on Amazon. And if you buy it, would you please do me a huge favor? Would you please leave a review for it? I want to thank everyone who is a Patreon subscriber. You are supporting my next book, and I love you all very much.
Got Thunderhearts here, by the way.
Larry, Tony Stark, Cardinal Sin, Shooter, Pew Pew, Chris Persia, Scuba Pete, Eric K, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C, and Jilly. So thank you so much. And I have a news story coming out. I wrote 5,000 words today. I hope that I am going to be right on schedule for my February release. I want to thank each and every single person who is here tonight and added to this conversation. We are nothing without you. We have such great fun listening to your opinions, hearing you out on different issues, just talking with you about Star Trek. You guys bring the magic every week, and we love you. These are some of the best Star Trek conversations ever in the history of Star Trek. I love you all so much. And I want to thank our wrenches. You guys work so tirelessly to help promote Clobby and I personally and professionally. And I cannot thank you enough for the wonderful work that you do, helping indie creators and then coming into these chats, making the conversations magical, making everyone feel like they're in a safe spot where adults can converse. We could not do this without you. I want to thank Mark D with the C just for being a great friend. We love you, Mark D with the C. Please follow him
Dittos.
on
Thank you.
YouTube. He's hysterical. He's smart. And he covers a whole bunch of cool, nerdy, and geeky stuff. Tune in. He's fab. And last but certainly not least, one of the best friends I ever had in real life, for reals, folks. And that is Mike Alonso, Clobby, my captain, mon capitaine. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here, for inviting me here to sit and talk with you, for allowing me to be a part of your world. I love you and I appreciate you so much. And I love this space. I wouldn't have any of these friends. I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it weren't for you. And so thank you for creating this marvelous space for everyone to gather, to talk about, to celebrate Star Trek. We all love you and we all thank you and we all appreciate you immensely. And that's all I have to say.
Well, first of all, thank you so much. Thank you, Larry. Larry, gifted some more. Wow.
Yeah, another 5. Yep.
Larry, thank you, buddy. I can't thank you enough, man. You're too kind. You're just such a generous friend. We really appreciate you. Rod Thunderheart, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for popping in. Thanks, Raquel, says Katie. By the way, I saw Bill Shatner this weekend. Wow. It was a blast. Great guy. So funny, entertaining. Saw the Wrath of Khan screening. My goodness, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's fabulous, sweetheart.
Time, yeah.
I'm so happy for you. And, break a leg in your show. Post some pictures. I am so incredibly proud of you. Doing Swan Lake is such a monumental thing, and you will feel so satisfied with this ballet under your belt. And I am incredibly proud of you, Katie. Rocket, baby, rocket.
Indeed, it's
Rocket Man.
Any final closing words, Marker?
No, but just well, yeah, I do. Yeah, I should say no, but yeah, this is the real Mark D. I hope. Yep. Thanks. That was a lot of I missed the part of the show, traveling, but glad to jump in at the end. And yeah, it's always, even if the episodes are stinkers, we always have fun. That's my motto for this. So yeah, it's great to see everyone. And tomorrow night, Sunday Night Geekery, I guess we'll go on after the sports ball show is over. So I'm guessing that'll be around 11-ish. 11Z's, but just watch Twitter or just check out the channel, and we'll probably roll once after it's over for about a half hour or so. And I'm picking the Chiefs. I can't pick the Eagles, but I know it's not sports ball time.
I'm picking the Chiefs too.
What? Katie's back on Twitter. Katie, are you following me?
Oh,
how do I find you on Twitter? You're back on Twitter. Where are you, darling? Honey, do you know where I am? Are you following me? How do I find you? Are you under a different name? You need to get a hold of me and tell me where you are. And I love you, and I'm glad you're back in this saddle. That's awesome news.
You get to meet Bill Shatner and see Wrath of Khan premiere. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, find me as well, Katie, and follow me if you will. I don't know if we've followed each other yet, but thank you, Max Redstone, for the $2 super chat. Listen, I'm not sure exactly what Max is trying to say here. But I think he's but I think that might be it. Thank you, Max.
Good. Katie's got it up here.
If it's okay, if you want to post
what?
your account's private or not, but if it's okay, post your Twitter. If not, just get in touch with Raquel at her account. But yeah, I'd like to follow you too. But if you want to
Yep.
Follow
keep
us
your
and
account
find
private,
us.
Yep.
or if you can put it in the chat, if whichever works for you. Yep.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Eric K put my Twitter in the chat. Please
Oh,
follow
thanks,
that. And guess
Eric,
what,
yeah.
everyone? I have Linktree now. You know how everyone was like asking me to solve the international buying issues? So like Americans couldn't buy on the Canadian site, and the Canadian site was causing difficulties, and people didn't know which site to buy the book. I have solved all of that. I have something called Linktree now. So now when you go on my Linktree, you click on my Linktree, which is pinned to my Twitter account. You can go to the American Amazon Kindle, or you can go to the Canadian Amazon Kindle. So no more messing around.
Wait 1 second. Zathras, I'm always on your side when you say how great Babylon 5 is. And how can you watch trash like Strange Nude Worms? He says I'm watching strangled nude worms during the Super Bowl.
That could be a joke.
That show's horrible, man. Why would you watch that filthy trash when you have such good taste to like Babylon 5? So don't watch filth. What's wrong? Come on now. Don't make me lose confidence in you, Zathras. Because strangled nude worms is crap, garbage.
Crap.
Anyway.
The Gorn says so.
Poopy diapers.
Oh, you did get me. Damn you. Damn you. You got me. Zathras is not such a joker after all. Zathras, what's wrong with you? Oh, my goodness. Anyway.
Katie, I found the picture of you and Bill. If it's okay for me
Yes,
to share that.
put it up.
Is
I
it
want to
okay
see.
to
Want to
show?
see.
It's on Twitter. Well, I just want to
gotta get
ask if it's
permission.
okay for me. Yeah. I
But
wanna
is
ask
it
permission.
public? If it's public,
It's public,
she
but
doesn't
I still want to ask though.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's very
Yeah,
gentlemanly.
okay,
of you.
give a thumbs up, and I'll share it to everyone if that's okay.
Katie.
Yes, Katie,
Give it a thumbs up,
give us
babe.
a yay or a nay, and I'll start doing show notes.
Do the show notes.
Max, are you out of here, buddy? Max. Good night, Max. Take care, buddy. Be good. Indeed, Rod.
We did his crazy Alan Moraine, right?
There you go. We did. She said good. Go ahead. Thank you, Katie.
Yeah, I'm trying to. StreamYards has asked me like 6 different questions. I want to try to share a photo. So.
Oh my
questions!
Look at that.
Look at how cute you are.
Oh,
and Bill looks great too for a 90-year-old guy. God bless him.
Yeah, he's a sweethart.
I love that uniform. You look absolutely
Classic.
beautiful, Katie. You are the best. And now, if I'm, he's 92. What is he? 92 or 91?
I think he's 90. But
he's got to be going. Look, I might be 91, but come on, I'm still the captain. He's still, and he's gonna still captain on you. Like, look here, he's gonna go. Hi, Barbara. I'm captain of the Enterprise. You're too old, damn it. But I'm still the captain. So you gotta say, look, yeah, you're too old, but you're still the captain. So we'll allow it just this once.
I think he looks better than a certain.
As Bill would say, Katie, you are adorbs.
You are adorbs, yes. So yeah.
I think he looks better than a certain android captain that's traveling the
these days. Poopy Stew, who thinks he's a writer.
91.
He's been writing all of this filth.
91.
He thinks he's a writer.
91.
Eric K. See, great minds think alike. Just as
yes.
Eric was probably typing that right as I was saying it. Yeah.
Bill looks younger than Poopy Stew.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he does. He does look younger than Poopy Stew.
He does.
That's actually true.
And I want you all to think about how Phase 2 didn't go forward because they wanted a younger looking captain.
Yes, he says he is the captain. The audience clapped when his name came during an opening credits. Fantastic. Looks like you had a great time, Katie. Was there anyone else in any uniform at all or what? Anybody? Yeah. I don't know.
I'm sure there must have been. If it's a Star Trek screening for Wrath of Khan, there must have been.
Well,
if I could only get my Wrath of Khan ticket signed by Bill Shatner. I got the one that's signed by Nimoy, but imagine if I was able to get. Ooh, that would be awesome.
You never know. You never know. Yeah. Was it? Steven said. Khalil said, "Yeah." I haven't seen that video, Kal-El, because I do like David Cullen, but he can be. I mean, I heard he actually likes that filth of P Hard season 3, and it'll depress me to know a guy because he said some nice things about Strangled Dude Worms, and I can't take it. It's just not. I mean, he could have his opinion. It's just,
JT Kirk says Bill doesn't look this young. It's all mental manipulation. It's all Telosian.
That's the Telosians.
yeah, I don't know, man. He don't look like no 91 though.
No, he's beautiful. And this is now. You guys all know why I was so outraged when we got a British French guy who was supposed to look younger than my captain. He didn't look younger than my captain. My captain still looks younger. My captain is beautiful.
Good night, Neon. So let's do some
night, Neon night.
And by the way, thank you so much for sharing that, Katie. That's a fantastic time you had. That's great. So cool you got to meet him. That's amazing. I got to meet him once way back in the 80s. So I'm glad you got to meet him. And yes, I'm glad to share the picture. You look beautiful. Love your uniform. And I'm glad you got to go to that. Yeah, that is great stuff.
Congrats.
So, yeah. Katie
well done.
Katie is awesome. We love you there. Keely Chow, what's up, dude?
Roll Tide.
Roll that tide there, Keely Chow. Good to see you, man. We're just on the way out. He says, what's going on? Not a whole lot now because we're about to start our shout outs after I give some show notes. So, all right. Show notes it is. Let's go ahead and sorry, where am I? Get my names ready for the shout outs. All right. We could go ahead and go back. Go back to normal screen there if we would.
Yep, there you go. Yep.
And there. All right. So, shout outs, folks. Tomorrow night, as Mark has mentioned, hopefully the Sunday Night Geekery will be happening. I mean, I don't think the Super Bowl is going to last that long. I got to get home after that. But other than that, I mean, unless it's a blowout at the halftime or something, I'll leave early. So, I mean, yeah, we'll probably it probably won't
latest
maybe
11, I'm guessing.
Yeah, maybe 11 your time. So, on Mondays, folks, this, of course, as some of you may or may not know, this is Superman month on Clobbering Times. We're not just a Star Trek channel; we're a comic book channel as well, and I love comics, and we're going to celebrate the Big Red S, the greatest granddaddy of them all, superhero, Superman. We love him, and we're celebrating him this month. And Monday we'll have a Monday night Mark C. Comics Talk double feature at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Central, a special time for a special guest. The great J-Man will join me for another Trip to Earth B, a wacky world of Bob Haney presentation for another Clobby's Classic Comics review, Brave and Bold number 150. And that will be at 6 Central. And then at 9 Central, the normal time for Monday night Mark C. Comics Talk, my buddy Carlos from Comics Mania, all the way down in Mexico, will be joining me for another Clobby's Classic Comics review. This time, Superman Annual number 11 for the man who has everything, the Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons masterpiece, probably the greatest Superman story ever told. So there's that.
Can I just say something?
Please.
Eric, may I please share this with Clobby and Mark? Please? Can I please share it? Can I please show this?
Thank you, Neon. Thank you, Neon Knight. Appreciate you. Good.
Eric just sent me something that I need to show everyone. I just need permission. May I please show this?
From
Eric?
me or from him? From Eric. Oh, yeah.
From Eric.
Yeah, it's always good to get permission to show stuff.
Eric.
Silver Surfer would kick Superman's butt.
Oh, my God. Mark.
No,
Mark,
Superman,
go to Clobby's Clubhouse on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Clobby's Clubhouse. Please.
Okay.
Do it immediately.
I'm doing it. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God, wait till Clobby sees this. Clobby's going to die.
Uh-oh.
You can show this picture. Eric has given permission.
I was given permission. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Let me present.
Oh, it's so
okay.
worth
Countdown. Okay. Sorry, all these buttons to press. 3, 2, 1. Engage cuteness.
Oh, what the puppy dog? Whose puppy is
this is Eric K's
it
new
Eric's
dog. And his new puppy needs a name. Oh my God, I'm dying.
Porthos?
Porthos? Yeah.
Beautiful.
He doesn't look like Porthos from the show, but he
I
looks
know,
like
I
him.
know.
That's
We
cute.
have to come up with a name for him. So everyone, please get a hold of Eric on Twitter and start suggesting names. You could just,
Hey.
tweet him for whatever names you think this
Eric
gorgeous,
Worf.
beautiful
Eric, you can
angel.
Eric, you can name him Gary after Gary from Nerdrotic. I bet he'd love that. No, I'm just kidding.
He's absolutely ridiculously beautiful.
Oh, I love doggies. Oh, wow.
Wolfie's his dog.
That might be a founder in disguise, CC. You just never know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So everyone, start coming up with some really cute, adorable names, adorbs names for the new pupperoni, and you have to send them to Eric or tag him on Twitter. This is ridiculous. This dog is so beautiful. Oh, this dog is so cute.
Well, you are a Silver Surfer fan. You can name him Norin. That's a Norin Rad, but I'm just kidding. You can name him Conan.
Stormbringer.
Clubby, look at his eyes.
Name him Conan.
How's Eric gonna get anything done when this dog is
Look at
looking
that
at him?
puppy. I love puppy dogs. I wish I had a new puppy
Very
or
cute,
any
yeah.
puppy. I can't have a puppy, but I would love to have one.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
See, this is what I mean. Eric sends me pictures of steak, baked potatoes loaded with cheese and sour cream on them. He sends me pictures of puppies. This is Eric's life. Eric's life is a beautiful life. I love Eric.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go, folks. Had to
Love
share
it.
that. Sorry, everyone.
Name him Marmaduke. I'm just kidding.
Clifford.
Yeah. Love it. I love dogs. I wouldn't know what to name one either. Of course, I would want a white doggy, so I could name him Crypto. Look a beat.
Crypto, yeah.
Or I'd love Porthos, one of those. Yeah. So there you go. That's fantastic. Let's see here.
Congrats,
Where
yep.
were I? Let's do the shout outs now, or the goodbye shout outs. We want to thank everybody for being here with us tonight. And I like to shout everybody out as they arrive, as you all well know. And of course, we'd like to say goodbye as we're on our way out. And we'll start by doing that with the saying goodbye to our great wrenches, our fantastic friends who are wrenches for us. And appreciate, of course, the aforementioned and fantastic Eric K, the Bronze Wrencher, buddy. Thanks so much for everything you do, man. Appreciate you. Really, and thanks for helping tonight. And love the doggy. That's great, man. Please let us know what you name it. Eric, Chris Berger, who I think had to run the Vindicator Wrench of the North. I think he wasn't feeling good or something. Or
He had
either way,
a
if you're
terrible
hearing this,
migraine.
I
I
hope
hope
you
he's
feel
feeling
better.
better, but he's still with us. He's just
okay.
He's laying down. I hope he has a cold cloth on his head, and I hope he's taken a migraine medication. Anyway, we love you, Chris.
Yeah, buddy. Be good, man. I hope you feel better. Dave Bud Martin. Hope you're feeling better these days, buddy. Wrench of Iron, the great wrench of iron. Thank you so much, man. Not here tonight, but we shout out always shout out the God of Wrenches, the great Lord Thoth, and of course the wonderful Lady Thoth. Avon lives, long live the Legion, my friend. I know he had to run by now, but it doesn't matter. The great man, a wrench without fear. J Man, my partner in crime on Earth B. Looking forward to hanging out with you Monday night, buddy. Hungry Boy, master of the Clawboni. And great artist supreme of Clobberin Times and at the cover of the book Science Fiction Tales by R.M. Briggs. Cal L, Super Wrench Supreme. Maddie's Daddy, wielder of French Bionia. And of course, Fanty Outsider. And the other picture we show is the pupperoni, another little puppy there. That's our friend Pupperoni Simi of Apollo Meets Minions Doggy. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope Simi's feeling better. Now, let's see. All righty. Our wonderful communications officer popped in earlier, Jill. And so shout out to you, Jill. Shooter, thank you for being here tonight. Pleasant Valley Picker, thank you for being here tonight. Dave G. Sound, thank you. Let's see here. Michael Beacom and Cassandra, shout out to you. Thank you so much. Sean Carter, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Stuart Mitchell. And let's see here. JT Kirk, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Appreciate you. The Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Myers. Cal L, buddy. I already mentioned you, but I'll tell you again there. So thank you, Cal L. Where we Max Redstone, thanks all you do, buddy. Appreciate you so much. Larry, thank you so much. Thanks for everything, my friend. It's always great to see you, buddy. You're too kind. What a great, generous fellow you are. Claude Salang. Lisa, so fantastic to have you here with us tonight, my dear. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Enigmatic Drop Bear, my good friend. Thank you so much for hanging with us. It's always great to have you here, buddy. We really appreciate you. Tyrell72, my friend. Hope you're having a great night at work. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. The Felicianos, Raymond and Sandra, Team Dolphin TV. Please subscribe to their channel. Let's see. Classic Comics. Always good to see you here, bud. Good to see you, CC. Dadman of the Dadman Clan. Thank you. Our good old buddy, Snail Messiah. Good to see you here. Brian Hepburn. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Wolfie, thanks for your contributions and great to see you, my friend. Appreciate you. Mark Seth. Good to see you. Hurt 130. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Bush McFadden. Always good to see you, Bush. Neon Knight. Thanks again for being here. Appreciate you so much. Amanda Bear. Thank you. John Rupaz. First time I think we've seen John. John, thank you so much for being here. Laura Carosin. Always good to see you. It's Courtney popped in. Our good friend Courtney. Yay. Good to see you, my dear. Abigor. Thank you for being here. Mega Reacts. Thank you very much. I think the great Pat S was here. Someone said he was, so Pat S. We shout out anyway. He's a good friend of the show. Good friend of ours. Cardinal Sen. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Gil. Always appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. My fantastic retro blasting friends popped in. Good to see you, Michael. Can't wait to talk to you soon, buddy. And I will have retro blasting on a week from Monday night. Vic Fontaine. Good to see you. Thank you. Midnight's Oblivion. Always good to see you. Captain. Where's he at? Captain Infinity and Beyond. Good to see you, my friend. Canadian Spidey. He is. Canadian Spidey. Good to see you. JPRPH1. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Zathras. Clap. Good to see you. Rob Altris. Thank you, Rob Altris, for being here. Captain James T. Skywalker. Green Laser. Lemon Pie. Almost done, folks. The lovely Katie Dax, Rod Thunderheart, and of course the great Keely Chow. Thank you all out there who have lurked with us tonight, and thank you all out there who have watched us on a rewatch or a download or whatever you want to call it. It is much appreciated. Thank you. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. And, of course, many links in my description below to all kinds of wonderful friends on YouTube that can check out their channels. Keely Chow says, what? To Bird of Prey 5, if you're watching this on playback, kapla. Hey, kapla indeed to Bird of Prey 5. And Bird of Prey 5 is an august gentleman. So, and yes, I don't know if he's ever watched, but he's a great feller. And shout out to him. All right, so let's see. Where were we? What are we doing now? Be seeing you, everybody. Please have a fantastic. Even if you're not a sports ball fan, I'm going to wish you a great Super Bowl Sunday anyway, because it's a holiday. I mean, even if you don't like the game, go to a Super Bowl party and have good stuff to eat and hang out. Or you can sit around making fun of the people watching the game, and you can make noises and disrupt them and ruin it for them if you want to. Whatever you want to do. Anything, just for fun of it.
Just eat lots of chili and good food.
Just eat some good food, nothing else. Or if you're not doing that, sit at home and purposely watch something other than that so you can take ratings away from it, if that's your speed, if that's what you want to do. Either way,
I highly recommend TOS.
Yes, if you're going to do it, yeah. So I'll be watching it. I'm a sicko, but doesn't mean you have to. Just watch something and, if you want to take some ratings from it, I wouldn't blame you. The NFL deserves it anyway. So have a great night, everyone. Just great to see you all. Trek on, Trekkers, and Clobber on, Clobbers. Good night, everybody.
CLOBBERIN! And they probably redesigned the whole sick bay, too. I know engineers, they love to change things.
Got it. That's good. Your agonizer, please.
Get those nerds! Nerds! What?
If you proceed, I'll arrange you'll come with me.